Greetings humanity, and welcome once more to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is the final act of Las Vegas, a surreal game by James Wallis about vice, violence, fortune, and misfortune. Well, I'll be your dealer today, as we circle back to finish this thing off. I do apologize for those non-humans who may be watching. Hello as well, and I think you might like this. This is going to be a thing. That's all I can really say about it. But before we get into this thing, let's go around and intro everybody once more, and say who they are and who they are playing. And we shall start with Katie. Hello.
Hi, we're back. I'm Katie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am going to be playing Erin, who also uses she, her pronouns. And I'm so ready to be back and kick this off and finally get to a conclusion.
Yes, it's so close.
I'm ready to see how this all ends. We've been going toward it for so long, it feels like, and I'm ready for that good like game conclusion. You know, like a wrap up. I'm ready for it.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if we all survive or if we all die.
Me too. I have no idea how it's going to turn out eventually. I've read the ending and I don't know how it's going to turn out. So this is how it goes.
Oh goodness.
And now let us head over to Darcy. Hello. You are muted.
I am muted. Hi. Well, I'm playing Sorana, and I too am very excited. I have like a mix of nervous and excited, and a little bit sad because it's coming to an end. Like I've been saying, I was like, I'm slowly descent into madness each week. Yes. But I'm ready. I'm ready to tie a bow. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what happens.
Good. Me too. And now let us head over to James. Hello.
Hey, I'm Jimbo. I use he, him pronouns and play an Archie who also uses he, him pronouns. And I got a bad feeling about this. I mean, yes. I'm loving the game, but boy, do I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, yes. Well, when we last saw our people in hell, they had just robbed a casino. The casino in question being one of the 5 big casinos in Vegas, which we've realized this is not Las Vegas. They just call it Vegas, but it is in fact hell. They realized this majorly, and our folks, they went into the Wands Casino as after having a nice little meeting with Elvis, and having him perform a ceremony that along with the pomegranate seeds they brought along allowed them to disguise themselves as locals who are perhaps also demons. The ones who run the casinos in this place. They went into the Wands, they let them right through, down into the pits. The pits in this case are rather fiery pits, places where they smelt down souls into that come in the form of poker chips. They smelt them down and they turned them into furniture and all manner of other things they use to build hell, to build Vegas, or to build hell as Vegas, I should say. So there was rather a lot of torment going on down there that they observed, but they finally made their way to find a building, a trailer type thing being suspended from a chain that each of them saw differently. Each of them saw it as a place very significant to them, where the worst thing ever happened to them during their lives. Yes, I went back and watched. I know everything now.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I didn't.
I thought it would be helpful as I'm running this one. Yeah, they managed to get it lowered. There was a machine that did it. They got it lowered. They went inside, and they found lots of very high value chips. At the center of it, what looked like a black chip. Didn't really have any symbols on it. But in picking it up, it's this kind of perfectly round, kind of like a black diamond almost, when they grab it. And holding on to it feels like you get the feeling, it's not exactly the weight, not the physical weight, but sort of the emotional weight of holding a coin made out of plutonium. That essentially was what the feeling they got. That one being worth, they don't know quite how much. But in addition to that, after they broke out, they grabbed quite a bit. They grabbed what they later found out as they did counting. In addition to this black chip, they grabbed a number of chips with value numbers on them, high value numbers, up to 1.7 million. Apparently, they discovered later. However, as they were, they had to make as they were making their way out, they had to kind of hide. The doors to the pit slammed closed because the alarms were going off. Demons running everywhere. Nearly got captured by Romanov, the head of security, the current head of security at the Wands, who took over from Bullneck. She had them cornered. They managed to get away through a certain amount of parkour and usage of VATS. They broke through a wall that they found some sort of drawings on the floor. Not drawings exactly. The word escapes me.
Mosaic?
Yeah, mosaics. There, sort of like ancient Greek type mosaics, and they followed that through these very, very old building structures that apparently used to be here before the Wands set up here. And finally made their way out as there was all the huge amounts of rumbling going on, massive earthquake type deals happening. They get out, they find that they come out in a chasm that has cleft Vegas in twain, it would appear. People trying to figure out how to get to the other side. Haven't figured it out yet. But they managed to climb up and escape. So doing, after picking up this chip, they headed to the Silver Cloud to try to turn it back in to that security guard fellow that they had been working with, Patrick Dennis. They went there. It was, of course, much more than he appears. They went there and they found, of course, there was a firefight going on. A lot of folks shooting at each other. And amongst the combatants, they found the nearest one, Nirakar, getting shot and then falling down, was Rebecca O, from whom they had, from the Swords, with whom they had worked. Basically, she told them with her dying breaths that they were, they found out the Hermit was behind a lot of what was going on, so they came to destroy his place, which it did. It incinerated immediately afterward.
We don't know if he's
the explosion
dead
went
or
off.
alive.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Hermit at this point, but his place is kaput. So much bedraggled, you ended up. It started raining acid. Acid rain, not the fun type of acid, unfortunately. You sort of headed out. You found a motel, which I assume that people in other countries have these things called motels, but just in case you do not, it's not exactly a hotel. It's more like, you come into a parking lot and you can then walk up to your room. All the rooms are exposed to the outside. There's no like internal hallway.
If you're a fan of
connecting them.
American movies, you'll know what a motel
Yes,
is.
exactly. And of course, more importantly, in these motels, they're typically fairly cheap. More importantly, in a lot of these, especially the way say this one is set up, there's only one way in or out. Only one way in or out, and that's the hotel. That's the motel door to the room. They went and they were holding up in this place. The power came back on because there's a lot of people are in chaos right now. On their way, they had sort of they're trying to sort of semi-disguise themselves because people were saying there's a bounty out for you folks, and I think last I heard was something like 500,000, something ridiculous like that. Different folks saying how much they had that they had stolen, and so then they the power comes back on. They see on the TV these crude images of themselves. Saying that these people are wanted for robbing the wands, and there's a reward.
Right? We're currently at $250,000 for the bounty.
$250,000? Yeah, I think that was the last you heard. During that, as that was going on, Stan had a flashback where he remembered some terrible, terrible things, and got rather upset and left the room. Stan, my character, that I've been playing the last few sessions. And then, of course, they took the time. They counted what ships they had in addition to the black ship, and in addition to the black ship, they have something like, once again, because they don't know the value of the black ship. The chips they have in addition add up to about 1.7 million. By the time they figure this out, and they've been sort of healing up from attempts to fire guns and what have you, there's a knock at the door. Aaron goes to look through the peephole, and she sees, smiling back, the person who runs the wands, Belphegor.
And was Romanov with him?
And when Romanov was with him, half her face burned. Belphegor, who has chosen to wear the face of Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
And
nice.
that is where we left off.
And by wear the face, you mean he looks like Sammy Davis Jr., not he tore Sammy Davis Jr.'s face off.
No.
And he's wearing
To clarify.
Sure.
Makes
We're
it
in hell with good.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's true, we are in hell,
Yeah.
but
This is a devil's rejects type of moment.
yes. No, and I will just go over this once more just because it's kind of important. Like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we will fade to black on it, or we will put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that is particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay, and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we are still doing okay. And here we are. Act 4, Winter begins. So, hey, you're kind of hanging out in this motel room. One of the Lords of Hell is outside. What would you like to do?
Erin, for a moment, just puts her forehead like against the door and takes a deep breath and turns back to Serana and Archie and says, "We're fucked."
I think Serana kind of knowingly, she kind of just like since she was sitting on the bed before, she kind of just jumps up to her feet and quickly kind of her kind of thief instincts kind of kick in, and she's like looking out the window. Is
There's
all
no
like
window.
or...
This place has no window.
There ain't no window. Oh no.
This is a motel. There's no window.
We just
You have started hearing you get the door is sort of moves a little bit, so you get the impression as though someone's leaning against it, and you can hear whistling now coming from the other side. He's sort of whistling.
She looks at the both of them again. It's Belphegor and Romanov.
Archie reaches for his gun, but his hand is shaking so much from the pain of having used it before. He like half fumbles it and almost drops it to the floor, but manages to keep a grasp. He goes, "You're right. We're fucked."
Check the bathroom, see if there's a window in there.
or a vent. Is there a vent that's like possibly us sized?
Yeah, is there anything in the bathroom that
So
we could fit through?
there is a vent. It is about that big. So not,
Yeah,
not
that's
quite,
not gonna work.
Yeah, unless you happen to have with you a particularly intelligent squirrel, you're probably not going to be able to make use of that vent. And outside, you now hear, "Hey kids, you gonna open the door? It's your Uncle Belphegor."
Oh, fuck off!
Before we
I'd like to have a little visit with you.
Oh. Aaron looks at them again.
No kids here.
He's gonna come through that door, and he's not gonna be happy if we don't let him in.
Yeah, I think Aaron leans against the door. What's this talk going to be about, Uncle Belphegor?
Oh, I'm impressed. You impressed me. That takes a lot to do. And I want to come in and have a little chat with you about it, and perhaps strike a deal.
I'm gonna like kind of put up my hand as if like Aaron say like before you open the door. And is there like the little matchbooks that you get, like on the minibar or anything? Like anything?
Yes. There's a matchbook.
Okay, I'm gonna get one of the little kind of like bottles of alcohol from the minibar, and fashion myself a quick little Molotov just in case.
Do you have an appropriate skill for this?
Archie just watches you do this with sort of a "what the fuck do you think you're doing?" look on his face.
Listen, if he's gonna take us down, I'm taking us all down in this.
So I'd just out of sheer curiosity, let me just check your let me check your things here. See what I got here. Yeah. Go ahead and draw a card for me, just as you're in a little bit of a hurry here. Just want to see kind of.
I know it's been a while, but don't shame me. Oh, that's Archie's. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Excellent. Okay, so
I'm
you're very hastily putting it together, and
We're all so nervous.
And as you are doing it, you're not sure even how you managed to do this, because you're also fumbling with the matches. One of them actually lights, and you're now the dressing that was put on your hand is now on fire, as it's catching as the alcohol is spilling on you, and you have to immediately sort of drop it down and put it out. Yeah.
When all that's over and Aaron is sure that Serana's okay, she helps her back up.
I'm struggling.
Hey, sounds like you're having a good time in there. Mind if I join in?
Just give us a moment. She makes sure that Serana's up and okay, and just points to a chair and tells her just sit down. And she unlatches the door and opens the door and opens it.
Okay.
When I open it, can I see Stan anywhere?
So your immediate field of view, the door opens inward. In your immediately field of view is currently filled with Romanoff and Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
So you don't, you don't see him right, and you know, and there's like there's like a little railing behind them. So you're not, you don't see him right in that immediate field of view. It's a question of whether you're going to try to peek out on him or not. If you're just going to let him in.
When I let them in, I'm going to peek out and look. I imagine this is like a balcony, like a walkway. What I imagine. So I'm just going to peek out and look down each side and see if I see Stan.
Stan is sitting on the railing near the edge of the steps, smoking. And when you look out, he looks away.
Motherfucker.
Piece of shit.
Erin slams the door behind her as she comes back in. And she turns and she leans against the door and looks at Romanov and Belphegor. Can I help you?
And he turns around. Oh. Don't like my new bartender?
Internet messed up. I missed all of that.
Oh, he just turns around and said, "What? Don't like my choice of new bartender?"
Savannah jumps to her feet and kind of like looks to Erin for like, what?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Stan sold us out.
Well, let's be fair here. It's not like it's not like we gave him that much of a choice. But I think I reckon he'll have a few words for you in just a moment. But this is our time. Let's have a little chat. And he is going to, as he comes in, he smiles at everyone, just beaming charismatically. And as he sort of is coming through, he look around and he says, actually, it didn't really take much to track you folks down, to be honest. I mean, it's like, well, I had kind of helped build this place, right? And sort of seeing things that are in it. It's kind of like, like drawing a map. You know what I'm saying? You're holding onto a map right now. I can tell. I can feel it. Always, it's a great way to track you folks. But that said, nothing bad's going to happen to you right now, not yet. But first thing, I just have to know, what in the world motivated you to steal 1.7 million souls from me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a high stakes game that we wanted to get part of.
Oh, shit.
We want to try to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna give him a dirty look. I ain't telling him shit.
And it's kind of remarkable that you just sort of put it all together yourself. You just sort of arrive here, and then just a day or two later, you break into the wands. That's took a bit of doing. I kind of feel as though you must have had at least a little bit of help.
Erin looks at Archie and sort of shrugs, because like at this point, why are they protecting the hermit? Like
I'm gonna kind of say in kind of a snarky way, you don't think we're smart enough to figure things out around here?
I don't know.
Not exactly the most original design you could have done for hell.
I don't know. Why don't we take out that beacon of a map you've been carrying around and take a look at it and judge for ourselves?
I'm just rolling my eyes, and then from my pocket I've got the map like kind of folded up.
Yeah. Thanks for carrying that around, by the way. That made this real fast.
Archie mutters something to himself about once you sell your soul one time, it's easier to sell it a lot of times. And he says, yeah, we had help, but what are we getting out of this conversation?
And he just sort of looks back at Romanov. He says, these young folk just never want to savor the moment, do they? Romanov just quietly shrugs.
Aaron looks at Romanov and goes, yeah, how's your face, by the way?
And she just sort of she just stares at you, and she says, "Looking better every day."
Could have fooled me.
I'm gonna the arm that's burnt would be, I guess, this one, and I'm just gonna and I'm gonna say, "Hey, look, we match."
Why are you antagonizing the people who could just kill us?
Why me? I'm angry.
Why not? Why not?
Belphegor is just watching this with a big grin. He says,
Once you've lost your life, there's nothing left to lose.
The chips we have would disagree with that.
We already here.
See, I feel as though you just sort of got pointed in a direction and didn't have much in the way of agency on it. You've been a bunch of tools, if you get my meaning. You've been used to shape a scheme that was made to beat me around the head. You want some payback on that?
Payback includes us getting out of here.
Oh, it very well might. Because I definitely want some payback.
You can get us out of here?
Well, I can get you into the game. But something you got to do for me.
You can get all of us into the game.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
What do we have to do for you?
So here's the thing. The big guy, the chairman. He thinks I've been plotting against him ever since he took my eye. And so he gestures, and you see this sort of black, glassy thing in his left socket. But I've been sort of waiting for a time that's just perfect to hit back. Now, the chairman only lets his guard down when he's playing the big game. It's at the highest point of the city. I don't know, maybe he thinks that it's the closest he'll ever get to heaven. Now, of course, he's also weak from having taken out that Picadon. It's also a good time. So, I'm going to give you what you need to get in there. They're going to believe you. You really, honestly, they just have to, more than anything else, they got to believe that that you're good for it. And I mean, right now the word is you ripped me off for $8 million. So they'll believe it. So you get to the game. Win or lose is up to you. But and how and when you play, that's up to you. But at some point when you're up there, then I'm going to give you what you need to take Satan down.
Like down, dead down?
Well, I mean, is anything really permanent here? I don't know. Nobody's ever killed him before. But,
So how do you know this will work?
He says, smiling, he's got some unexpectedly large fangs.
Oh my god.
Well, here's what you're gonna need. Now, you're gonna need a gun, and any gun will work. And I know that you normally can't use the kinds of guns that we use, but
Yeah, I found that out.
yeah, it's cause it needs ammo. Now, if it's got ammo, it'll be fine. And he says, the bullet you already have. Well, kinda. You have the makings. You stole it from me.
The chip.
Now, you take that, you make it into a bullet. That'll fit any of the guns around here. Use that. You go up to the game. You look the chairman right in those beautiful blue eyes and you shoot one of them out. Now, as far as the game itself goes, the game's got its own rules. You get out, that's fine. But you go through with this, you stay behind, I'll give you all jobs. Or, hell, give you each a casino if you like. If you're going to be stuck here for a while, you ought to be on the side of the mighty, am I right?
But wait, I mean, if the game is how one of us gets out, or all of us gets out, or some of us gets out, and we kill the guy who's running the game, that kind of cuts us out of getting out of here, doesn't it?
Well, I've not actually been up there, but my understanding is there's ways, even if, as long as there's somebody up there to run the game, you can do it. But, I mean, once you've, heck, if you want to turn the cards first, that's up to you. You want to have Satan do it, that's fine. But, let's just say that room up there goes by its own rules.
We kill him either before or after the game starts and finishes.
Up to you.
I mean, killing him might greatly increase our chances of winning the game. If we kill him before, that is.
Might also
that's the
increase our
spirit.
chances of staying here.
Yeah. If there's no house, don't they kind of lose by default?
Right. So not only are we in hell, we're caught in the middle of a dick swing competition between demons. Love that for us.
I mean, baby, down here, everybody's plotting against everybody.
I'll drink to that.
I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this question, but what if it doesn't kill him?
Well, it's going to do something. I mean, there's only one way to find out.
So the options you're giving us are either die here or die up there.
Well, I'm sure it's going to take him out at least for a little while, if nothing else. But, we'll... It's, I mean, it's not like you have that much greater in the way of options. I'm offering you a lot here.
And I'd prefer not to die in this motel room.
Seconded.
Yes, this is a terrible place to die, just aesthetically, if nothing else.
I say we do it. Where are we going to turn this chip into a bullet at?
What, didn't the Picadon tell you? Don't you know?
No.
See, they told me you kids were smart. That's what I keep hearing everywhere. I mean, heck, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out who to ask. I don't know. And he turns around and he looks at Romanov. You got anything? Romanov shrugs. There's a guy in the desert who would know, I hear.
Oh, the desert. Oh, lovely.
Just a guy in the desert. Great.
Back to where we started.
I think, and once again, Belphegor just says, hey, You're pretty good at finding things out. You can go ask around. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Just be careful. You got that bounty on you.
You know, Archie stands up from where he's been sitting on the bed. You know, you have a vested interest in helping us succeed in this. I want a car. I want a good car that can take us into the desert and get us back from it.
I don't think he's asking too much.
All right, I'm going to ask you to draw a card for me.
Sure, you bet.
Do you have a skill that would help you with this?
Fuck no.
Don't you have a people skill?
I have calmed people down. I don't think that's gonna help.
Oh, he's very calm right now.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
cool.
Very calm.
Let's see if I can remember how to do this.
Yeah, true. Spotting lies.
Give myself one card.
I'm surprised none of us have picked up negotiating yet.
Yeah, same here.
That's what we have to end up
Quick,
doing.
flashback!
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Come on, Deck.
Queen of Wands.
Okay, the Queen is a very good card. He's like,
Nice.
he slowly cracks a grin. Oh. Huh. Looks over at Romanoff. Give me your keys. And she sighs. She fishes a couple of keys out of her pocket, tosses them onto the bed.
How do we get in touch with you once this is... Wait a minute. How are we getting into the place? You said you'd get us in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. I can see you appreciate this as, yeah, you got that desire in you. I can see it. Desire to succeed. Good. You're going to go far in a place like this. There is something that kind of triggers for all of you when he says that. It's not a flashback fully, but you have this distinct notion in the back of your heads. You have this distinct notion that there was something that you wanted back on Earth, that you wanted badly enough, each of you, that you would have traded anything for it. Like anything. You don't remember the specifics as of yet, but from this point up until the point you hit the black elevator, you have an extra free flashback, which will not give you a skill, but which will allow you to, shall we say, give us some idea as to why it is you are in hell. So, this will not count toward your total flashbacks, but that's a thing that is now available to you when the time comes for you to determine. Now, at this question, he says, yeah, this one's from me. He reaches up and he pulls out the glass eye, the false eye. It's not actually glass, looks like. It's a dark, heavy crystal. Looks like it's the same stuff as the chip actually is made out of.
Oh my god.
Nice.
He just got someone's soul in his eye.
He says, now I want you to buy your way into the game with this. It's worth enough. I want that asshole to know what's going down. See, he can't back out of a deal once the stakes are down. Them's the rules, like they say.
I think I'll put out my hand for him to put the...
He tosses it. He tosses it to you. You catch it. He says, "There you go. Want him to see that eye and know what's going down."
Archie barely hides his disgust.
Bonus if you bring it back to me after.
Sure. I'll keep it safe for you.
Well, it was great having a talk with you. I think we have a meeting in the desert to attend to.
Very good.
Wait. I'm gonna look at, I guess, Erin and Archie and say, what about Stan? What are we gonna do?
And kind of when you say this, he's like, Belphegor's like, "Oh yeah," and he goes and he opens the door. He says, and he just sort of turns and he whistles. "Hey Stan, come in."
I'm gonna slip my knuckle dusters on right about now.
And at this, Jim loses his page, but that's okay. He will. So you'll see Stan. Stan will come in, and Belphegor will look up at him and sort of pat him on the shoulder. Stan kind of recoils a little bit at his touch. And he says, and Belphegor turns to you and says, "You know, this is the only guy in hell who actually knows how to mix a Tom Collins properly." I was not about to let that go.
I'm gonna, like, as Stan walks in, I'm surprised you didn't come in here on your belly, you snake.
So Stan looks up at you, and you can see actually that he's got, now that you see him fully, he's got like a terrible bruise on one side of his face. As he looks up and he says, "Yeah, well, came to realize we belong down here."
I'm gonna pimp slap him. Okay. That's a strong backhand.
He's actually going to he's going to reach up and try to block. He's not going to try to lash out. He's not going to lash out. He's going to use his self-defense to try to keep you from hitting him.
Reel that boy back.
Do you want to go to the cards on this? Because I will,
Yeah,
if you
let's
so
do it.
desire.
Come on.
All right, go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and do a quick draw here. Go ahead and draw for me.
So me and you both draw one.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Next generation.
Okay. So you got a 6 and I got a 4. So you hit him. And do you hit him on the same side of the face he's already been bruised on, or do you hit him on the other side?
Other side.
Okay. You hit him. He goes down. He says, "You know," and at this point, Belphegor says, "You know, I'd appreciate it if my bartender were to continue functioning after this. He's got to
hit him that hard.
He's got to carry these chips." And he looks down, and he will slowly. And Stan just looks up from the ground. He said, "We had a child." He says, "And neither of us did what was right for her. The job became everything, and we ended up leaving her with fucking Alexis." Now there's nothing we can do for her. She is alone. And it is all our fault. I pled with you. I pled with you to stop, but you would not stop. That is why we belong here.
Ooh. Well, she better off with a cheater for a mother instead of a killer and a cheater for a father.
I think Erin looks at the both of you and just shakes her head. That's enough. We have a job to do.
Yeah, but what kind of we? Do we trust Stan on this?
And at this point, Belphegor goes, "Oh no, this man's my bartender. He's not going anywhere." And Stan stands up slowly, picks him up. He says,
Good riddance.
"Get the chips, would you?" And he's going to. They're going to basically. He and Romanoff are going to head over to the bed where you have the other chips, the 1.7 million laid out, and they're going to scoop them up.
We've got our way into the game. The chips are immaterial now.
Let's just get this over with.
They will leave you with some walking around chips that it won't. It's nowhere near what it was.
Yeah.
Like 100 trips are sorted in red and white. I'm guessing.
As this is all going on and we're all getting ready to leave, Archie kind of sidles up to Stan and whispers something in his ear. Jim, I don't know if you want me to say what it is or if you'd rather have me just write it down in chat.
I think at this point I'm perfectly good for everything to be known by everyone.
He leans in and he whispers in Stan's ear. We might all have deserved to come down here, but right now I'm glad I'm the one who sent you.
And sort of looks up. He says, and he just sort of looks up and he says, "Well, hopefully you won't come to regret that decision."
Oh shit!
He sort of nods and says, "See you at the bar." And he gets up, and with the sort of sack of chips, and he walks out.
Well, I guess it's time we ride.
Bruh, I'm speechless.
I wish I had heard. I know we didn't in character, but damn.
That was whoa.
Oh my god. Yeah, once Romanoff, Balfagor, and Stan are gone, Erin looks at Serana and Archie. Time to go. We've got to stick to this. There's no more fucking around. We have to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To the desert, get this bullet made. Then we go to the casino. We're going to play this game. And we're going to figure it out from there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right.
So, off to the car.
Romanov's car. That's the only happiness that I've gotten out of this whole thing.
I hope it's a really cool car.
Well, it's just a plain 4-door sedan. That's all it is.
Minivan.
I will be angry. I didn't even know I had a kid. I'm screwed now.
Yeah, I think Erin opens the door and like leads everyone out and like lets Archie get in front so they can find the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I actually. made a record of the car because I think I did. I did. It's a 1960s Coupe de Ville.
Spicy.
And yeah, you will. You'll find it parked in the lot. You head out. You head out of the room. You see it. You see it right down there. The rain has let up some. It is not let up fully. So there's a bit of dodging involved, but it's at least navigable at this point.
Archie gets into the driver's seat, kind of cursing because, he's not even wearing a shirt now, so the rain was a little more problematic.
Yeah.
I think Aaron gets in shotgun.
Serana's kind of like a little bit quiet, and she's just going to jump in the back.
And as we're driving off to the desert, I will invoke that bonus flashback.
Ah, excellent.
So this flashback actually comes in the in kind of a montage form. It starts with Archie standing behind Stan. Stan is on his knees with his hands behind his head, fingers laced together, and Archie has pulled an automatic pistol and just shoots Stan in the back of the head. And then the next scene is him doing the same thing to Serana. And the next scene is him doing the same thing to Aaron. And then the scene flashes to him sitting at an office desk and saying, yeah, it is a damn shame they all resisted, but, we stopped them. And it pulls back to reveal the deputy director of the FBI congratulating Archie on his great undercover work and giving him the promotion he so desperately wanted.
Oh boy.
Holy shit!
All men do is lie and cheat.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my god!
How you gonna do me like that, Archie? I had a kid.
You were all criminals, terrible criminals.
You don't even know anything about me!
That is,
Well, that's definitely a thing.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So
I
how the
kind
hell
of-
did you end up here then?
Well, we'll find out eventually, perhaps. So I guess my question here is, are you just sort of heading out to the desert generally, or do you have an idea of a direction? Because it is awfully big.
I think that when they get sort of out to the desert, I can't remember their name because this was a session I missed. What was the name of the people they got the clothes from?
Oh, that was Martha and George.
Aaron looks over at Archie's like, maybe we can go back to Martha and George's and ask them if they know anything about this person.
If anyone's not going to rat us out for the reward, it's probably them. So yeah, we can stop by. But
They
we
seem
ain't
the
going to
nicest.
stay long.
Hell no.
And so there, yeah, go see if we can find Martha and George.
All right. So you're heading out.
And I could get another shirt from them, maybe.
You might. You just might. If you're very good, you might get a shirt out of it. You are heading out. There's a bit of, as you're sort of driving along, you're sort of trying to keep people from sort of looking. People are kind of out looking for you, presumably. There's a lot going on. as this is happening. And kind of as you are, as you're wandering through, people are a little bit in chaos at this point. Some of them just sort of running around.
Yeah, the city has a big ass crater in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, massive chasm
that's
that
like
seems
cutting
to,
it in half. So.
Yeah, stretch from horizon to horizon as far as you can tell. And it's sort of it's weird. Sometimes you have to move to avoid rubble. None of the casinos appear to be open at this point to the south here still. Although I think it looks like they're trying. Some of the ones on this south side of the chasm. Yeah, you will eventually find your way through. It's like a slightly different route now, as far as you can tell. And again, the streets have that twisty feeling to them, even more so now, actually, that you can't, you have to take side roads and alleys and stuff like that to get where you want to go. And as you're finally coming around, sort of just kind of within spitting distance of the site of where the Silver Cloud was, or rather where not the Silver Cloud, but rather where I think the Pearl was supposed to be going up, that construction site. You will come upon this, and get near I believe it was the Metropolitan, the place formerly owned by Nate. You come by and you will see they're out there. They've got their van set up. They've got their stand that they're where they're making soup. And they're just sort of hanging out and chatting.
I'll pull the car over if either of you want to get out and talk to them. I don't feel safe leaving this car right now.
I can jump out real quick and just ask.
Okay.
Just leave it running so we can make a quick getaway, just in case.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Erin will jump out and she'll go to Martha.
Okay. So as a quick reminder, basically you see this...
Yeah, because I wasn't here when this happened.
Yeah. No, I'm going to just go back and describe. Basically, it's a row of empty storefronts on this street and road bordering. It's a soup cart parked next to an anonymous old-style white van. They basically have she's got like a number of cups of soup laid out next to. There's like a little tip jar with a bunch of coins in it, she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna look up and she says, "Oh, hello.
Hi.
Haven't you been busy?"
Yeah, about that. I'm not going to take up your time. We're looking for someone out here who can make a bullet for us. That's all I need to know.
She squints for a moment. I would like you to make some sort of draw for this. Do you have anything involving persuading people of anything?
I have empathy.
Yeah, let's use that.
Okay.
People skills.
The chariot! It's a face guard!
Awesome. Okay, yes, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a different signifier? No, it's not.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, you do that, and she's like, okay.
I promise you won't have anything to do with it. We'll get out of your hair.
It's okay.
We just gotta do
It's
this
okay.
one last thing.
It's. Actually, I'm glad you're all right. It's and she just sort of is looking up and down. She says, "Make a bullet." Well, there's this survivalist who lives out off of the 95, I guess you might call it. Just sort of to the east, a few miles out. Doc Raoul.
Okay.
She is. She scrolls on her PDF to the directions.
She pulls up her Palm Pilot for me.
She pulls up her Palm Pilot, yeah. 1970s Palm Pilot, so it's really big. Yeah, it's so you follow the road east till basically it stops, and you should find the highest point you can and climb to it. He kind of moves around a little bit sometimes, but you should be able to see from there if you're looking carefully until you spot something glinting in the sun, or just you spot something.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to find him, I hear. I mean, he likes his privacy. He's very, from what I hear, he is very defensive.
We'll take it easy on him then.
But yeah, that's where you would find the guy.
Thank you, Martha.
Do you want a cup of soup?
No, I think I'll pass this time.
You know their shirt or anything?
Do need a men's shirt for Archie.
She looks over at George. George is like, just shrugs. He reaches in. He pulls out a shirt that
Thank you.
has kind of a fleur-de-lis pattern on it.
Love it.
And he nods and he hands it to you.
You two stay safe out here. Things are going crazy.
Oh, I know. But, got to adapt to the times.
And then I turn and I head back to the car, jump in, throw the shirt at Archie, and I'm just like, head east. We have to get out, go to the highest point, look for something shiny. A guy named Doc Raoul, and he might shoot at us.
Archie's eyes narrow slightly at the term Doc Raoul. He's like, great, we're heading into Bat Country.
And as you head off into Bat Country, we shall go ahead and take a break. We shall be back in a few moments. See you shortly. Welcome to the break. Today I have Dot with me to talk about all manner of things. Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going with you? Are you surviving your quarantine?
Oh, I am. It's delightful.
Yeah, I was going to say, is your mental state still in place? Your mental state?
My mental state is basically where it was before, only more so. I think that's pretty much all I can really say about it. But this is we're recording this during the time of quarantine, rather than focusing on the present, actually, at the moment, I would like to ask you a little bit about the past and find out kind of whence you come. You have been streaming for a bit and gaming for a bit. How did you get into all of this madness?
Yeah. Okay. So I think I was trying to tally up the other day, actually, because somebody asked me a very similar question, and I think it's around 3 years now that I've been streaming proper. In full transparency, my personal Twitch channel did not start out as an RPG channel. It was a cosplay channel, but also a story for another day. But really, I think what happened was, in layman terms, I moved to Atlanta after wanting to become an actor and was not able to pay the bills doing that here in this city. And so I went back to grad school and I got my master's degree in creative entrepreneurship and creative business. And so I spent all this time in and out of museums and theaters, and I was working like a dog, and nothing was really working out for me. And at the time I was playing on other people's channels, but I wasn't really owning my stuff. And what I ended up finding was I enjoyed the process of collaborative storytelling on Twitch RPGs a lot more than producing live theater, than producing, art shows and gallery shows. I really found a niche in the process of merging gaming, something that I already loved from way back Dot, right? From wee little Dot, to where I realized that why I went to school to be an actor was not because I wanted to be famous or because I thought I was an incredible actor. I like to tell stories with people, other people. And so now I'm lucky enough that my day job, I work at an improv company, doing marketing for an improv, an improv group. And by night, I get to do this thing with all these incredible people like you, and we tell stories. And it's funny, you look at it from the outside and it seems so quaint, but I think it's more important now than ever before with the use of technology. If we don't use it as a platform for storytelling, then it will overtake the form of storytelling.
Yeah.
From us as from us as humans. And so we have to like use it to reach people versus so anyways, I'm pretty obsessed with it. And so that's the long and short of how I got here. I started over on Encounter Roleplay and then kind of branched out from there and started producing my own stuff. I really wanted to stop playing Dungeons and Dragons, not because I don't like the system, let's be real. That's how I got started. And I played it for years, 12 years, in fact, before I ever got to another RPG. But I found that the stories I wanted to tell were a little obscure and a little different, which I'm sure we're going to learn about before all this conversation's over with. But yeah, and so that's kind of how I got here. And I found a group of friends, a real tribe of people that totally talk a different language and look at the world differently. And it's kind of a beautiful thing. And I feel kind of lucky, actually, to get to do it with everybody and all of you.
That is awesome, and there are so many things in there I kind of want to ask about, but among them, the idea of just basically taking that I do like very much that idea of not trying not to let the platform direct you, but you direct the platform. Because that is important, because a lot of times people are just going to leap into a thing thinking, I've got to get on Twitch. And they don't know what they're going to do necessarily.
It's true.
And so it's nice to actually be like, okay, let us use this for good. Find a so this theater company that I'm working for, I've recently launched a Twitch channel for them, which has been its own grand endeavor over the last 6 or 7 weeks as we've barreled through what is sketch comedy on Twitch. So it's interesting because I think the platform is so versatile. And if we look at history, the greatest creative movements come out of the biggest times of despair. World War II, we start getting Dadaism and Expressionism and these much larger movements of thinking and thought and stuff being created. And now we have technology as a platform to add to that. And here we are in a literal quarantine where we can still share that creative process. And I think that there's just something kind of innately beautiful about that, and kind of raw at its core. So I don't know. I'm all about it. I say, actually, it's funny. I ran an online webinar to teach individual artists how to launch a stream onto Twitch, use OBS, the basics. Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, it's better to just do it. I remember my first Twitch channel, I had no idea what I was doing. It is 2 weeks of me sanding a 3D printed Darth Vader helmet. It came in 60 pieces. I put that sucker together live on Twitch. And by the end of the 2 weeks leading up to Dragon Con, I was a hot mess of a person. But I did it. It's out there. One of the very first clips of me is actually slotting on this Vader helmet and dancing. So you can go out there and find it. It's out there somewhere. But I think the origin is important, but it's not as important as the doing, right? Process over product. And not everybody agrees with that. And I think that's cool. But I just love the idea that we have the capability to wield technology to do things that we've never been able to do before. I would never be able to play with half the people if I expected it had to be done IRL or if it had to be done at only conventions. And so we're at this incredible time where we can share things that we couldn't share before. And so it's an opportunity found in mass chaos that I think just can't be ignored. So I'm a huge cheerleader for it.
And that is awesome. Honestly, I totally agree. I think this is definitely the time to be trying to reach out with this platform and telling these stories. I very much resonate with the idea that as someone who also with a theatrical background, as a storyteller myself, I very much I like very much how this sort of synthesizes all of the things that I like and puts them together, all the things I like to do, and actually focuses it in a way that hopefully is something meaningful for folks. I think it's very cool. It's very cool. But for the time being, if folks would like to check out your media and things you're doing, where should they go?
You can find me online as Little Red Dot. Usually it's at little_red_dot. That'll be my Twitch channel as well as Twitter, where I'm most active. And if you hang around on my Twitch channel, I'll usually drop a Discord link and you can come join the Dotlock community and hang out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. For now, I'm going to go ahead and throw things back over to me, whatever future me is doing right now.
Oh no, future you.
Yeah, I know. Some show or other is happening right now. Yes, whatever is happening right now. Sooner or later, I've been saying that a while. Sooner or later, I'm going to send myself a warning from one of these. From the future, but in the meantime,
today could be that day. Everyone.
It could be today. I don't know. I might be getting a message even now, but we'll see. No, I do not have anywhere. Yeah, I do not have anywhere near the wherewithal to be able to plan something like that. So I'm going to throw things back to whatever show it is that I'm doing right now. Is that you folks are watching? Thank you all so much for watching. Continue to watch, and we will see you in a bit. Greetings, we have returned. And we're now driving out along what on Earth would be Route 95. Here, we're not sure what it is because there are no signs for any other cities. Drives on and on into the desert. I will tell you that this car that you are now driving, which I've put an image of up in there under the handouts if you want to see kind of type of car.
Ooh, like that Coupe de Ville.
It is the first car that you have driven in this town that has a radio.
Oh,
excellent.
So that is available to you.
It's hell, so it's all like Lawrence Welk and stuff.
Probably.
But...
Yeah, I mean it's so you sort of are turning it on and it's like you're trying to get there.
Hell is not on. What's the point?
Yeah, it's a lot of it is Lawrence Welk, but sort of turning past it, you'll find there's like so it's like there are three stations basically that you're able to identify. You have the you have the Lawrence Welk station. You have the Elvis station. And then you have what apparently is the Rat Pack station.
Oof.
And none of the songs are actually as originally written. Even
Hell doesn't want to violate copyright.
Yeah, even Hell isn't violating copyright. But you come across on on one of the stations. You come across. It sounds like Belphegor apparently went in and recorded this where he's singing this thing from the same song that he was whistling when he came to the door. Sort of singing this thing. It's like a state of mind whether or not you find this place down here or heaven. I'm sorry, man. I can never keep a straight face with that one. In the meantime, and etc. And he keeps going.
Aaron just turns it off so angrily. And just looks at Serana and Archie and just says, no.
No. I agree.
I think rolls the window down a little bit. She'd rather listen to the wind than to that song.
Okay. So time goes on. You drive. And
Ooh. Before we stop, I think I'd like to start a flashback.
oh, okay, yes, as you're driving.
So, as I guess, just after Erin turns off the radio, I'm gonna like take the little eye that's in my pocket out, and I'm just gonna kind of look at it, and then as I'm like kind of like throwing it from hand to hand, there's kind of like a moment where it looks like it disappears, but it's just like on the underside of my hand, and then that's when the flashback kicks in, and it's Serana, and she looks like she is tucking a small child into bed, and the kid doesn't call Serana mom, but calls her by her name, Serana, and says if I could show her a magic trick before she goes to bed. And then I guess roll my eyes and say, oh yeah, sure. And then I reach behind her ear, and then I pull out a coin. And then she claps, and then she takes the coin from my hand and falls asleep. And as I walk into the next room, kind of I see Stan outside the door, and he's just kind of standing there, just this weird, perplexed kind of look on his face. And he looks at Saran and says, "See," he goes, "You could be Mother Material if you want to be." And I look at him and say, "You wanted this, not me." As I walk away, the skill that I have is sleight of hand.
Ouch. Big
Yes.
ouch.
Oh, the drama.
Pain, sleight of hand, and pain.
And
Deep,
pain.
deep pain.
Let's not
Deep,
forget
painful
pain.
sleight of hand.
Somewhere in a bar, Stan is standing there mixing a drink, and he notices a little blood trickling from his nose.
Yeah,
Just, ooh.
there it is. Ah, dang it. All right, sleight of hand. Yep, there you go.
So we can assume that the child is adopted. Because this parkour bod didn't have a kid.
Who knows?
Who gave y'all a child?
Yeah, I mean that's really. I'm more skeptical of that than of it having happened the natural way.
For real.
But anyway,
You know, we're all horrible people. Kidnapping might have been a thing.
this is a chance.
Oh no.
It's just.
I hope not.
It's like someone that we ended up taking out, and we were like, we should probably just keep. They have a
Take care
kid.
of
We'll
the
just keep
There we
it.
go. Who knew?
Oh my god. So yes. After that bit of pain, you were wandering out. You're heading out to the point where the road peters out, and the rain is still kind of. It's not pelting down, but it's it's been gradually letting up. But you can still hear it, sizzling when it hits the sand. Basically you can get all the way down this road without having to cross the canyon. That's the important thing. So it's after so you drive for a while. It's something like maybe 40 miles. So it's you drive for like the better part of an hour, half an hour, because there's no other traffic here. Blacktop begins to break up, and a few hundred yards later, it's completely gone. There's a little hillock in one direction, and another there's sort of what looks like a little sort of bunker house looking thing with a telegraph pole standing next to it, but no other poles or any sign of an actual telegraph or wires or anything like that.
He's a survivalist. Maybe we don't want to be sneaking up on him.
Oh no, Martha said to climb to the highest hill and look out for him, and that he was a little paranoid, a little jumpy. So we definitely don't want to sneak up on him.
All right. Any of the hills here look particularly high?
Well, yeah, as you're driving up, you sort of see that, it's kind of, the little hillock is a little higher than where you are. The pole itself goes higher than that. But so it's either the pole or the hillock.
Probably the hillock. Aaron would be like, if that's his pole, I don't want to be climbing it and offend him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a bunch of faces carved into these ghastly, just sort of expressions.
Totem pole, right?
Yeah.
Really don't want to offend him if that's his pole.
Yeah, let's head for the hills, as they say.
Okay.
Make sure you lock the car just in case.
Yeah, you bet. So lock up the car, and kind of walk up the hill, I guess.
So there is, get up on the hill and you're looking and you see to the north, there is this white speck. About half a mile away.
Very, very blatantly kind of waving my hands over my head. In case it's him, he might notice us.
It's not moving.
Head toward it?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer and closer. Desert's kind of, some of it's turning to mud a little bit with the rainfall. And it's looks like it's a car. As you get a little closer, it's a luxury Oldsmobile, or was at one time. It's very dented and rusted. There, as you're coming out amongst these sort of this odd sort of scrubland to look at it, you see that the tires are in good condition as you're looking at it, and then you hear from sort of a bush off to your left, you hear a click.
Oh. Oh.
Aaron stops, just
Yeah.
like immediately freezes
Archie
and looks
freezes
toward
and
the
puts
bush.
his hands up.
There's a gentleman who's
Be like
sort
this.
of risen up out of the bushes. He is, it looks like he's in his 60s. He's very sort of bald and bearded. His very tan skin, sort of like leather hide. He's got a faded baseball cap and a Grateful Dead t-shirt. And he's just sort of standing there with the crossbow pointed at you. He's smiling. But he's not moving.
I'm gonna call over to him and say, "You the doctor?" Hands up, obviously.
And
We ain't.
he says, "Yes. Medicine, possibly possibly something else. It's been a while."
Doc Raoul?
Where'd you hear that name?
Martha told us to come see you if we needed to get something made.
And he says, "You need something made. Why?"
What if we wanted to change the way this place worked?
For who?
Everyone?
And he's sort of watching. He sort of cocks his head.
What if we wanted to take down the biggest and the baddest? And we had a way to do it, but we needed your help with just one little thing.
I'm going to ask you to draw a card now.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to use empathy again.
Okay.
Wait, so when we used our skills, we drew 2 cards, right?
No, that was when you were demons.
Oh yes, very good.
Yeah, when you have the skill, it just means that if you get a major arcana, you succeed.
It's a 2 of Pentacles.
Okay. So he So the crossbow fires, and it doesn't hit you. He's not aiming at you.
Yeah.
It just sort of goes. And he says, "Cut the bullshit. Why are you here?"
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. No need for violence.
Settle down, old timer.
We can talk about this. Nobody needs to get shot, and I'd like to use my calm people down skill.
Okay. Please to make another draw.
Okay. And got an 8.
Good.
8? Okay. All right. He's like, I get so little practice, but yeah, I suppose that's a good point.
And I'm also not bullshitting you. Telling you the truth.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? Yep, okay. He says, I got a kettle boiling. Let's go ahead and sample it. And he turns and he starts walking toward the sort of bunker.
Aaron lets out this biggest because she just had an air, like it wasn't fired at her, but it went right past her face. She just like.
I have a quick question. When Archie revealed that fat truth bomb to Stan, did any of us hear that, or did he just say that under his breath to Stan?
It was a whisper.
Yeah, he whispered it to Stan.
Yeah.
Very good, sir.
So Archie kind of pats Aaron on the shoulder, and gestures that we should probably all go follow the doc.
Yeah, she follows.
Let's go see what he's brewing.
Yeah, he kind of ambles inside, yeah. So he and the way he does that is he goes to a place, that there's some rocks and plants that he goes up to, and he reaches down and he opens what's a trap door. And that is actually how you get into the bunker. He descends. As you are heading in, steps lead down. It's to a 2-room bunker about the size of a school bus. Books are lining one of the walls, and it looks like they're the classics, but those are the titles, but they're sort of bound into these kind of rough binders with sort of tape on the side saying what they are. So you've got basically, it's like you have like Charles Dickens and you have Herman Melville, and you have other,
But they're all in binders.
Shakespeare, but it's all in binders, yeah.
If I'm not gonna get yelled at by the kooky old guy, if I like take like say Moby Dick off the shelf,
Yeah.
is it like handwritten pages?
Typewritten. As you're looking across, you see on the opposite wall there's basically shelves stocked with hundreds of jars of pills and medicines, and a couple of crates that say vodka on the side. And you see the wall has a lot of different handmade crossbows of different designs.
Nice.
And there's a workbench with a bunch of tools and works in progress, and a typewriter with a chair sitting in front of it.
Aaron looks at Serrata and says, "Show him the chip."
You hear this, and he goes over to where there's this kettle boiling on top of a little paraffin stove.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Steam kettle. Oh yeah.
Little sort of one burner stove he's got in the corner. He sort of looks over his shoulder. As you're looking at the book, he says, "Oh yeah, I did all those from memory." Try finding any of those books in Vegas? Of course you didn't. Take it from me, not there.
Are they word for word, or has he changed them to like suit his own?
So you sort of flip to a page in Moby Dick where he's talking about different types of ships, and then at this point there's like a break, and it says, "It's a boat, I don't fucking know."
I love it.
And then it jumps ahead to the next chapter.
I'm gonna as I flip through pages, I'm gonna just follow the bind and say, "I like your version better."
Well, it's a lot shorter. I tried to remember them word for word, but there's the thing about remembering everything is that there are bits you don't always necessarily want to remember, and so that happens. Kind of goes in and out, comes and goes like the tide that doesn't exist down here in this fucking place. Tea? You want tea?
Sure.
We got some big things to discuss. I think the tea is going to help. And he pours out 4 cups of tea, which he brings over to a little table, and he picks up and he sits down in this chair, and he starts sipping the tea.
Drink some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's this sort of honeyed thing. It's a weird tasting thing, but it tastes kind of honeyed. It's pretty good.
I find it kind of weird that he remembers all these books. We woke up with nothing in our heads.
This is true.
I'm guessing his memory is like ours, fragmented, and the things come and go. Yikes.
All right. So, want to tell me give me a little more context about what it is that you've been doing?
Show him the chip, Serrana.
Serrana nods and reaching down, pulling out the chip.
Hey, I'm not that kind of guy. Not anymore, anyway.
Relax,
Don't worry.
I'm not on your best day.
Christ, if I was still alive, you would give me a damn heart attack.
I'm gonna show him the chip and say, we need this to become a bullet.
Oh, holy crap. That thing, how are you holding that in your hand? That's concentrated evil.
Can you do it or not?
Takes evil to know it, I guess.
Me, no. I know how to do it. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Where the hell did you get that? If you'll pardon the phrase.
It's
Do you
probably
really want to know?
probably best if we don't. The less you know.
Christ. I will also say, as you folks are looking around, this room, he also has. There's a bed that you see sort of lying, a little bit more than a cot, but pinned above it, there's another of those comic strips. From Hackster.
Comic strips.
Which, if you wish, I shall show it to you.
Oh,
I
very
will allow
good.
you to see it. All right, it should now be visible in your folder there.
Number 4.
Yeah, that's number 4.
You're a washed-up hacker, mediocre nothing, a fool overwhelmed by his sins, terrified that nobody comes back from the black elevator. Plus your flies down.
Oh, that makes me feel optimistic.
Truly.
All right. Well, let's kind of take this a little bit from the top because I want to make sure before I get the things that I know, that I do know and know how to do are kind of important that I share this with the right people. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting a little more context here from you folks. Details are a little important to me. So, how long have you been here?
Time is
Wonky.
pretty crazy down here.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me that, but roughly, if you've got an idea.
Oh,
Couple of days.
Okay. And any of the casinos try to recruit you?
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Presumably, you got that from one of the casinos, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Sorta, yeah.
Okay. So, you folks know anything about that big explosion happened a little while ago? About 2 days, around the same time you showed up?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
Peek it
Silver
out.
cloud.
The Picadon.
Yep. Any of them, were they with you, or... Well, clearly they're not here for you. But they
No, I
came
don't think
with
so.
you.
We don't even know what the hell it is.
Oh, it's an angel.
Yeah.
Angels from heaven. Harbingers of change. They're sort of ambassadors from the court of light, emissaries from the right hand of on high special forces, charged with soul extraction.
As in
There's a soul
taking
here that's not
out.
supposed to be. They're here to get it out. Hopefully. But they sometimes need help.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Erin.
Yeah, same.
Because out of all of us, it seems that Erin's the one that doesn't belong here the most.
Oh, that's not why Archie's looking at her.
Cool!
No, Archie quietly says, "I think it was here for your dad."
I guess.
Yeah, if the person that it's after is someone known to you, are they innocent? If you know someone who's innocent who's here, then that could be why they're here.
When they start talking about her dad, I'd like to trigger my extra flashback.
Here we go.
Yes.
It's not much, but you see Erin bringing her father dinner on a tray. He's sitting in front of a TV and a lazy boy. And he isn't the sort of big, gruff, manly man that he was in the way she remembered him from teaching her to hotwire cars and identifying the body. He looks very frail. And she sits his food down in front of her and leans over and kisses him on top of his head and tells him to enjoy his dinner. And he takes a bite of it and says that it tastes great. And you see Erin go back into a back office, a back room, presumably her father's office, and see her open up a file cabinet and take out some files. And she's looking at a life insurance policy for her father, with $100,000 with her as the beneficiary. And she goes into she puts it away and goes into the kitchen, and she takes some trash and puts it into the trash can, and you see the box of rat poisoning that she pushes down further as she gathers the trash to take it outside.
Ooh.
Oh,
I mean, it just means they had rodents, right? That's all it means.
Yeah, that must be it.
They just had rats.
Oh, no.
That's all it was. That's my flashback.
what was the skill?
No, you
No,
don't get a
that's
skill
just
from
her-
that one.
Oh,
Her
just your-
bonus one.
That's the
That's
bonus
that's the bonus
flashback.
flashback that you
Why
get.
she's in hell.
Yeah, to tell us why you are here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks at Archie and says, or looks at Doc Rowell and says, "Yeah, my father didn't deserve to be here, so."
Okay. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, there's a lot going down here. He stops, pauses, and he thinks, and he's actually sits completely still for a moment as he seems to be thinking. He says, as this is happening, well then, you're ow, hang on, sorry, hold on just a second. The dealer's leg is cramping up for a moment. He's going to now he's now going to do this from a more casual angle.
Raoul.
As which we know, which is fair because he's also at a casual angle right now. So, yeah, the thing with innocent souls when they're here is that they're connected usually to someone else who arrives. Picadon is here to do an extraction, but it's not really all they got. They do need to sometimes to get escorted, perhaps, with whoever they come with, if that's generally helps. If you have a way out, you probably, if you want to try to do better by your dad, might want to try to bring him with you when you leave. I'm guessing that if you were able to get a hold of something like that, then you have a line on a way for yourselves to get out of here, yeah?
Yeah.
He nods. Good. Probably for the best you get the innocent out of here, your father out of here. Because it's just it's something that Satan is just going to be using as another chip. He can do quite a few things. He can, the hermit probably can as well, but it's probably not really so much to worry about with the hermit. I mean, he got along fine here, ruling this place before any of those bozos came down, from what I understand.
The hermit was in charge here?
Oh yeah, he's Hades.
Ah!
Pomegranate, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He was a bit old school, and then they came in, they muscled in on his territory. I don't think he was too happy about that, from what I was able to put together. It's not...
So the new gods...
you think about it, he came here, I don't know, it was maybe like thousands of years ago. It's nobody can survive here long when the five princes focus their attention on them, but the hermit has. Maybe they're not that serious about taking him down. Maybe they don't see him as a threat anymore. Maybe he's getting help or patronage, protection from one of them. Could be. But yeah, no, he's definitely got to be Hades. That's the only person I think he could be.
So you said you can't make the bullet, but you know someone who can.
Yes, well, I know how. Actually, more accurately, you know someone who can.
Who?
Your dad. He's an innocent. They hopefully they haven't gotten to him by now, but
when we left him, he couldn't do anything. He could barely stay awake. He couldn't do shit.
Well, you give anyone time, then they start adapting. But you see, the presence of an innocent is toxic to this place. It's sort of the antithesis of what's here, and you understand that this place, that's what you see, is just a metaphor, right? It's not.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get that.
It's not really what you're seeing. Your mind makes sense of it, filtering it into something it understands. And what he's seeing is what's really there. He sort of nods sagely.
Horrible, disgusting corpses to him.
I mean, if we could see the truth that underlies the city the way the locals see it, then we'd all be out of our minds, probably. Good to know we're just perfectly sane now, right?
Yeah.
We have to get back to him then.
How long have you been here exactly, Doctor?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, as you folks mentioned earlier, time was a bit of a problem, but it's been probably, if I was to count decades, it might be something like that. Not sure. But yeah, no, the idea is you just you give that to the innocent, and they can reshape it, because they can very affect this whole place on a fundamental level if they have it in them. It's rough, but yeah, that's what I'd recommend. You'd probably, if you want to go and you want to get that done, turn that into a bullet. You take it to your progenitor, have him take it, reshape it, and then perhaps, as a thank you, you bring him along and get him out of this place.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your help, Doc Raoul.
Oh, hey. You're most welcome. Anything that can try to help shake things up in this place, I'm very much in support of. It's all bad, but any way to sort of break that up, I'm all for.
Hey, any chance you'd be willing to part with one of those crossbows on the wall?
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Well, do you have something to trade for it?
Oh, gosh.
Not chips.
No, not chips at all. Archie reaches into his pocket and takes out the cassette tape. It says entertainment, maybe.
Interesting.
And a little bit of truth.
You see, he just sort of is, he gets up, and, mind if I do a quick sample on that? Just real quick.
Sure, hand it over.
We'll pick it up. He goes over and he picks up to a corner and he pulls out this big tape recorder that looks like it's got several extra wires sort of wrapped around it. It's basically held together by wire at this point. Looks like it's been broken and repaired several times. This big journalist tape recorder with a big sort of 60s microphone sticking off of it. And he sets it down. He presses a button. He opens it up. He puts it in. And he presses play, and you hear, oh God, no, I can really see it. And he's like, Yeah, I think I'll check that out later, but yeah, good enough for me. He goes. He goes down. He looks over. This one's pump action. This should be good. And he sets it down. I made here, and he goes and he's like, I don't have a huge store of them to spare totally, but here's like here's half a dozen of these, and
Great.
basically you now have a pump action crossbow with half a dozen shots.
Hell yeah.
They're,
Thank you. Okay.
always good to practice archery. I've found it's in places like this. It's nice to have a hobby.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, Doc, but I hope it comes to pass that we never meet again.
Understandable. Fine by me too. Also, you think that you can. You think you have control over your own destiny. That you can write your own ticket whenever you want, and you do. Except, then there's what comes after.
Always consequences.
Always more assholes to have to handle.
I'm gonna kind of look around, just at the this just strange bunker and think. I mean, it's not such a bad hideout.
He shrugs. And he's like,
Right up my alley, really.
We,
Let's go get my dad.
yeah. And head out and head back.
So
to
you
the
all,
conference.
he kind of, you've kind of got to the point that you finished your tea. Those of you who have had the tea, and you're heading out. He's following you outside, and just sort of, kind of doing that weird sort of smile that it's not. You're not sure if it's a benign smile or not because you can't see his eyes, and.
He betrays us. If he fucking betrays us.
Well,
He
This is
doesn't
where he
seem-
betrays us.
you head as you head out, and you can see the light. It stopped raining. The light seems, for some of you, perhaps the light seems some, or perhaps all of you, the light seems a little clearer. It's like it's like you're coming out and you can hear a pin drop. Everything looks sort of like more almost crystalline and geometric. The colors are a little more intense. The input from the senses are a little richer and deeper.
Okay.
Looks like you're looking out on it's like it's weird. It's almost like you can look at the land and see geometrical patterns in it.
He dose us.
Dosed our tea.
Did he dose us?
And you're sort of looking around, and he's staying there with a cup of tea in his hand, and he's drinking from it. And he says, "Yep, this is why I live out here. The city muddles the brain. It infects the consciousness, gets in there, burrows deep. The further away you get, the longer you stay in the desert, the freer your mind becomes. Could be the peyote. I'm not sure. It might be that. But either way, have a safe trip back." And he nods. And he slowly turns and he waltzes back into the thing.
It's gonna be fun driving back. It's gonna be
Driving
great.
back into hell while on peyote. This is fantastic. Nothing bad will happen.
Nothing at all.
Serrana's
Did
nodding
Serrana
her-
drink the tea?
Yeah, she's
Oh.
nodded. She's just chilling like, this makes me miss LSD.
Oh, we all drank it. Fuck.
Yep. Yes, we did.
We should have known.
Oh, I knew. I knew that tea.
Just dive right into that. Okay.
We have to head back to the hotel where we left.
Yeah.
I still have the key card or the key or whatever because I locked my dad in the room.
Yep.
All right. Let's see how fun it is.
Carefully,
Driving.
let's head back. I see shadow. I see everything moving very slowly.
You turn the key and you can hear it. The engine grind to life.
Have
Oh,
you
hey!
noticed
Someone's
that
just
the
raided. Hi, how's it going?
We're high
Wait a
on
minute.
peyote.
Hey, it's,
Yeah.
you've raided at peyote time. Apparently, the characters have all just had a little peyote, and they're now heading
you
back
noticed-
to
Just
accomplish
a
quest.
little. Just a
The
little.
road is
Smith.
perfectly straight, but it bends at the same time?
It does. It's weird.
How does it do that?
It's very strange. You're kind of going along. The car seems to be moving kind of slowly. It's hard to know exactly how fast you're traveling. And
just have to
you
shut
can
out
kind
all
of
your
now,
other senses.
as you're driving back, you can hear the radio. You're not sure if you turned it on or not. And you can sort of there's this point where it breaks in as you're heading back toward these big boulders that you can kind of hear as you hear Beelzebub kind of singing, "Memories are made of this."
Sure.
And you're not sure if you're turning the radio on or off when you do that, but it changes the station, and it now goes. Greetings. And then you can kind of hear this. You hear these boulders coming up, that are sort of in the distance, and you see that a bunch of them have been strewn across the road
Oh,
that you're
man.
heading toward. It's very strange.
We're gonna have to walk.
I mean, you could possibly get around. It's gonna be, or you could clear them.
I mean,
There aren't
you
a
know,
lot of them.
It's really just Romanov's car. I say we try to drive around him, and if we destroy her
Yeah.
car, we destroy her car, you know?
Yeah, I say we drive around them.
Okay. So I need you to make for me a driving test.
You got that driving
I
skill.
do. I have
Come on.
drive like hell. Okay. Hold on.
Drive like the place you're in.
Yes. Yes. So, let's see what we got. We got the sun.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
All
That's
right.
what I'm talking about.
So, you manage, and it's very rocky and very bumpy around, and you can tell that it's trying to tear the car up, but you're managing to make these tiny little curves because you can see them now apparently, where everything goes.
A moment of clarity in this peyote
You're
high.
it's like he's almost doing it one-handed. He's very casually just going around these very incredibly tight, impossibly tight curves, going around between these bushes. At this is roughly the time you think that it seems as though parts of the desert are coming up and running after you.
God!
As it looks like there are a few cacti and a few just sort of boulders that seem to be running after you. Either that or, well, they have arms and legs, and they're very badly, dirtily dressed. They're dressed a lot like the Lost that were out here that you encountered before.
Right.
Could be the Lost, could be living cacti. You're not sure.
You know,
Hell, who knows?
this car has great suspension. If I make it out of here, I'm gonna buy one of these.
You need a good car in hell.
I mean, Coupe de Villes will do that for you if you have the appropriate impetus.
Archie will hand his crossbow back to Serana in the back seat and say, "If those things get close, just thing."
Easy. Loads crossbow. Easy.
So, so please, for Serana, we're going to just to show sort of how this goes. Just draw a card for me, if you would, please, as you are attempting to assassinate these
Come on.
these people who are
don't fail.
hungrily running after the car.
Don't fail
Just
me.
fires at a cactus that goes by. The star.
The sun, the star.
That cactus will never saw it coming. As these things are chasing after you, and again, it's sort of again to this sort of as you're kind of and you can sort of hear fading in back in and out of the background. These it's one girl, one boy, some grief, some joy. As these lost ones fall dead around you as they're trying to catch up.
I love it.
As Dean Martin's dulcet tones, Beelzebub's dulcet tones seem to drift in and out.
Can I, as this is happening, can I play with the radio and try to find the person that was talking?
Yes, you can. You're sort of playing with the radio, and it's actually what you're able to find after a moment is this sort of this. It's like a travelogue channel. It's very difficult to tune into. There's always like some static above it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this sort of they're playing this sort of cheesy da 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 sort of music behind it as they're talking about welcome to Vegas and the wonderful amenities that we possess. And it starts talking about the different casinos a little bit, and then it starts talking about and kind of just before it goes out, which it is they just basically sit there as you're driving like this 40 the better part of an hour back. You sort of hear this little sort of thing where it talks about some of the different casinos. It talks about the place where Elvis can bestow blessings, and it then talks about just toward the end. It says apparently there's some city planning changes underway that you may wish to be aware of. We don't have the full reports, the details in yet, but apparently coins are becoming all the rage. Do pay attention to that. Oh dear.
City planning changes.
And as you're driving up, you can kind of see what it is that they were talking about. You feel as though night is falling. You can feel night falling around you with a heavy thud. As you look ahead through your mescaline haze, you see that it's like, as you're driving closer, sort of the buildings look like they're arrayed differently a little bit. You can see that the buildings are kind of made of torment. You sort of can feel these souls that are inside. But it's kind of like the facade, the thin skim of plaster on the outside has fallen away and revealed that it's made, what this place is made of. Twisted souls melted and blended and molded, sort of an alloy of the worst of humanity.
I wonder if Nick had mates in there.
Essence deformed and mixed with the base character of a million other bad people. And it's like you can see them sort of half memories getting played over and over again. And those half memories have been melted into the rest of them and are all mingled together as you're looking at them. That every vicious, cruel, selfish, greedy, hurtful act ever committed by the human race, relived from both sides of the deed, an endless cycle of torment and suffering. And you know that all you will ever know is pain and suffering, and that it's all your fault. And as you're sort of bleeding in, you can sort of hear that torment going on, and reflect on the thoughts that. That's why people hear, "Oh no!" It's It's why people are told not to remember too much, because memories are a weapon, but they also will cut you for eternity. And this is damn good mescaline.
Hey, Serrano, this might be a good time for the flashback as to why you were sent to hell. Just
You
saying.
don't want that one, yeah. But I actually do want to get mine. So, looking at this kind of twisted facade in front of us, I kind of start to lament on, why we deserve to be here, and that's when the memories kind of wash over me, and it's me, it's Serrano on Earth, and she is moving a buckload of money out of a safe into a duffel. It looks like it's her in safe house. She's splitting the money into two different duffel bags, a red and a blue. The memory kind of fast forwards, and she's dropping one of the duffel bags off at what looks to be like kind of like an orphanage, like a really run-down orphanage. The rest she puts back in the car, and she's driving. The route is familiar, and it looks like she is driving to Alexis's house, which is her former trainer and also the person Stan was having an affair with. So that's great. And she drives over there, and she sees Alexis kind of coming out of the front door, and before she does that, she pulls right in front of her, and she grabs Alexis by the hair and drags her back into the house. The memory kind of goes back really kind of fast after that, and she ties Alexis to a chair. She takes the kid who's in the bedroom and puts it in the back seat of her car, giving the kid like a little drink that puts the kid to sleep. And then she sets the house alight with Alexis inside.
Oh my god.
And she drives away with the kid. So that's why she's in hell.
We are all terrible, terrible people.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Am I right, guys?
So, the fire that you see in this bleeds into a lot of these fires that you're starting to see around the city. You see fires, you can hear gunshots from time to time. It's looking like it's a little bit of a war zone at this point. As you're driving down in, it's like the routes through the city have changed even more, and you have to keep going these circular routes. That it's like there's one road, but it's a long one to get anywhere. You're looking, there are people confused and panicked running around. And you see people are like running up to, you see someone sort of like bolt out of the crowd and sort of come up to the window and say, "Do you have any coins? Do you have any coins, please? I'll trade you. I've got so many chips. Do you have any coins?" As you sort of come by, and they you drive past them, presumably, but you see there's a lot of the people panicking and trying to get coins out of each other.
Why are chips suddenly becoming valueless?
Looks like there's a new world order.
Could be.
And as you kind of drive and finally get to a point sort of in the middle, you can see way down across to where the canyon is. You can see down to the canyon where it bifurcates this place. And you see that it's filled in with a dark liquid. And there are people teeming on either side of on the canyon trying to get across.
I know why they need coins.
Way over there, there's a tiny figure from here in an inflatable boat.
You need coins for the boat.
Get across.
The ferry,
Seems to
man.
be Bringing people across.
Of course.
Can we get to the hotel that Aaron's dad is in?
Well, as established during the previous act, that was actually on the other side.
All right.
I'm afraid that was the last dealer's doing. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Mhm. Totally my fault.
Wait, what? I thought we had gone back to the motel before, didn't we? And your dad wasn't there anymore.
No,
No, we left
no.
him.
Nope, you know.
Left him there. Okay, so how do we get coins? I know one way and I don't want to do it.
We got to do whatever we need to.
George and Martha had a jar full of coins. Yeah, see?
I mean, while I would normally say, damn, I don't want to kill some old people, but
I don't want to mess with George and Martha. They've been too good to us.
neither do I. They're the one people that are off limits to me. Gave me some good ass soup when we were all naked and that.
And I am open to suggestions.
We can start a riot.
I mean, I think that's already been done.
I mean, start one with the people in line.
Maybe.
That was one.
Or we can try to find another way across, maybe across the rooftops.
I mean, if any of the people in line have coins,
You could try to pickpocket them.
yeah.
Yeah, that may be our best bet.
I should also remind you that as established again by the previous dealer, the canyon's about 1,500 feet wide.
We're not
so-
we're not Dukes of Hazzarding it. As cool as that would be,
yeah, I mean, that would be awesome.
I mean, I would guess Serrano would probably need to pickpocket them.
yeah.
Okie dokie.
So let's I assume there's probably a line for the ferryman.
Oh yeah. There's it's part line, part mosh,
Fair.
basically.
Probably should make it even easier for
Part line, part mosh pit, basically.
You need us to do anything to help you?
Run a distraction game for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw one card to keep it ready. I will try and pickpocket or someone in the line.
Okay. Just so I will understand the circumstances surrounding this, is anyone doing distraction while this is going on?
I'm trying to think of what a good one might be.
Just pick someone.
Oh, sure. No. Point someone else out and claim that they're a pickpocket.
Ah, excellent.
They stole all my coins.
Okay, so that will help a little bit. So now we can go ahead and reveal Serrano's card and see what it is that you're getting, and it won't be as difficult as it would have been a moment ago. You're very lucky someone is helping you right now. Because the moment that accusation goes up, they go bananas. And you're slowly, you're working through. I will actually ask, because that's a 4, I am going to ask Archie to also draw for me, just to see how effective he is at stirring the pot.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
Do you have a particular skill you're using toward this?
I I don't really have a skill for this.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Okay.
Ooh.
We got a page.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
Page of
That's a high number. So yes, thankfully the distraction is enough. You're not able to get as many opportunities as you had hoped, but you do finally manage to fish out 6 coins.
So 2 each.
Yep.
1 for each eye
Yep.
as you lay down to die.
Aye, aye.
And they're all now they're in a big. It's now becoming just sort of one of those fights like you kind of see in the cartoons where there's this big dust cloud,
Just arms and legs coming out here.
arms and legs everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we gather back in our own little huddle and we get the coins and we're like, Aaron's like, hold these close to your chest. Don't let anyone get a hold of them. We got to go.
Mhm. And grab the crossbow. And for a moment, Archie looks at the car. He says, "I don't think we're coming back for this."
Me either.
And so he just takes the keys and he chucks them into the crowd.
Ah! A car! I can trade these for coins. Oh God! Ah! And they get trampled. So yeah, now you've got also not only that, you've got a clear path to the boat if you want it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you head up, and so this
Everything we need is on the other side, right? The
Yeah.
hotel where her dad is, and then the elevator where the casino where the elevator is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, then we're good. We're going.
All right. So there's a guy with a hoodie sitting there. He sort of looks up, kind of looks around, sees that you're the only ones, and he sort of shrugs and is like,
Aaron gives him a coin.
Yep. I guess we just drop the 2 coins into his palm. That's what
Yeah. Yep.
he nods as he takes the coins, and he gestures to the boat. Looks like it's an 8-seater, but you're the only ones getting on right now. Everyone else is like trying to, and but sort of shoving them off with his pole, which he does have in there. He doesn't need, but he has it.
Mhm.
And you get in the boat. Motor comes back to life again. And he pulls out and starts steering it toward the other shore. The trip seems to take a little while. The water is opaque. The sound around the boat is deadened apart from the motor. Does anyone look into the water as you're crossing?
Oh.
For the briefest moment, Archie puts his hand over the side like he's going to trail his hand in the water, and then suddenly realizes what the hell he's doing and stops.
Yeah.
Don't touch the sticks. Don't touch it.
You're looking over the side, and you don't see the reflection of your face, but you see a face from a memory. And only you can tell me who that is. But as you sort of finally finish your way across, it takes quite a while. You're north of the river now. Looks like it's taken more damage than the south side has. The terrain looks even more uneven than before. The black road surfaces are cracked and fissured. Traffic in cars are notable by their absence. People here seem more aimless, directionless. They're sort of wandering around like they're lost. And it's like there's a certain transparency to them. Like some of them are losing coherence.
Oh,
A lot of them are clustered around the riverbank trying to get back across. Ferryman's only operating this one way, so just sort of keeps shaking his head. And others are sort of wandering around, talking in low voices, wailing. They're not ghosts per se, but it's like they don't know what the hell to do. The casinos are familiar. They're still operating, it looks like, on this side of the river. The strip is still there. The lights are still there. The route seems a little more difficult, but you can see the big hotels from where you are. What do you want to do?
I'm heading toward where we left my dad.
Okay.
Quick pace.
As you're edging around and you're trying to, get there through all these spiraling roads and back alleys, sort of come across this hotel that's fallen over sideways, that's been sort of blocking the route into the main strip, and you have to go kind of along an alley, and you see this sort of at one end of the alley, this big figure, this large figure pad out into the alley. And it looks like about the height of a donkey, but it's got 3 heads. And as it comes closer, it looks like those heads are all Dobermans.
Great.
So
Cerberus.
it's a 3-headed dog. Yeah, probably
Love-
it could be its name.
I'll just call it Spot.
Yes, that's it. It's sort of like, it's not
Come in.
doing much. It's just sort of hanging out.
I'm gonna keep a wide berth from that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem interested in running after you or anything.
Too bad we don't have our animal handling cheetah. How's Treya taste, Stan? Put that in your Bloody Mary.
Ah, delicious betrayal. Anyway.
This episode brought to you by Betrayal TM.
From everyone.
Pretty much.
So you eventually will, and it takes an ungodly amount of time, but you find your way through the spirals to that hotel, which is a house of ill repute, where you left your dad.
She immediately bounds up the stairs and unlocks the door and swings it open and just goes, Dad, just yelling for her
And
dad.
he sits up, he's on the bed.
She's so relieved that he's still there.
It's you
Are you-
again.
Are you okay?
I really
Archie-
shouldn't be here. I really
Archie
shouldn't.
kind of stops himself and Serana from going in because, he was freaking out real bad last time.
All
Let's
right.
just let Aaron take care of this.
What?
Has anyone come to see you? Or has it just been
No.
you?
Well, there was the fiery guy, who was not since, but no, that was before. That was before you.
Okay. Listen,
He brought me here.
I'm going to get you out of here.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm going to get you back where you belong.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I promise. I'm going to get you out of
You
here.
look-
You don't.
You look familiar.
I'm your daughter. I'm Erin. Dad, it's me. I'm going to get
No.
you out of here.
No. Why is Aaron down here?
Because
shouldn't be
Erin
down
did a
here.
lot of bad things, Dad.
Aaron shouldn't be down here. Are you trying to trick me?
No, Dad, Erin was a bad person. Erin deserves to be down here, but you don't.
What do you need?
She'll step out of the room and hold her hand out for the chip for Serana.
I'll just toss the chip into her hand. As Erin goes back in though, I'm gonna turn to Archie and because we can hear what's happening in the room.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna turn and say, I don't know about you, but I'm getting the feeling that maybe I shouldn't go back.
Well, I can't make that decision for you. But I think we all ended up here for a reason.
That's one of the things that's bothering me. I don't, how did we die?
Archie looks away for a moment and said, "Doesn't matter."
Yeah. And
I mean, if it's something to do with Stan, it's fucking better.
And Archie turns back and says, "I don't think it had anything to do with Stan."
I'm gonna stop for a moment and say, you seem awfully sure of that. Is there something that you want to tell me?
Not right now.
So I guess Serana just rolls her eyes and then turns her attention more towards the room that Erin is in.
So Aaron's father has stood up and he's put on some clothes that are in here. Which apparently there are clothes in here. But it's,
There was, if I remember correctly, there was a suitcase.
Yeah,
because I looked through it. There was a suitcase. Yeah.
And so it's he's wearing just basically a shirt with a coat. It's very sort of 70s clothing, and he's putting it on.
She goes up to him,
and I will say, as he sort of looks at all of you, he just sort of gets this pained look in his eyes, and you all have this feeling, this very light feeling, but there is this sort of, it's not light as in happiness, but it's this sort of light dread in the back of your heads as you look, and you all feel this sense that at some point you personally betrayed him.
All of us personally betrayed him.
You
or
did.
Just Erin?
It could be a stronger feeling for some of you than others, maybe. But you get this feeling that there's another memory hiding somewhere where you committed some kind of ultimate betrayal on this man. But you're not sure yet what it is.
Oh.
When the time comes, one of you will have a memory about this. I will let you know when that is.
Okay.
One of you will need to volunteer to have this memory. He's standing there and he's sort of looking around and he's like, okay, what do you need?
Erin gets closer to him. Does it still feel like it's going to burn if she touches him?
Yeah, it's a little weird because you think, yeah, it's the closer you get, you don't. It's one of those things. The first time when you didn't know until you touched him.
Yeah.
And getting closer, it's like it's very subtle, but there is this almost this kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Almost feeling like this almost radioactive feeling you get.
Yeah.
From holding your hand near to him for a little while.
She just sort of like hovers her hands near his. I have this thing. I need you to hold it in your hands, and I want you to. This is gonna sound weird, Dad, but I want you to mold it in your mind and in your hands. Try to shape it into what you think a bullet shape would be. Okay? Just do it. Just trust me.
Okay.
And she drops the chip into his hand.
He looks at it, he takes it, and he touches it, and he has no problem with it. He's just sort of looking at it. He's like, huh. That's... So just, like, think it into a bullet?
I guess I was told that only you could do it.
He looks at it. He's like... You know, there's this feeling you sometimes get when you're kind of replacing the end of a carburetor, and there's this kind of, I know it's kind of silly, this kind of satisfying click that you get.
You told me to always listen for it.
Yeah, when it falls right into place. And he's now holding a bullet. It's about like a .45. Looks like it's made out of black glass.
Erin breathes a sigh of relief and just holds her hand out.
He'll drop it into your hand.
Thank you. I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you back where you belong.
Man, I hope this is just a nightmare.
Yeah, it's gonna be the worst nightmare you've ever had, but you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be back where you need to be.
Okay.
She's gonna hand it to Archie. Hand the bullet to Archie.
Yeah. He takes it and he slides it into the gun.
We gotta go.
Okay.
Before we do that, since we're heading close to the casinos, we don't want to attract any unnecessary attention. I think Serana should go around and give us a quick changeover with our master of disguise.
There are clothes here in a suitcase.
Also, do you still have the map, or did we leave it in that motel when he told us that it was a beacon?
We gave it to Belphegor.
Okay, just making sure. I was making sure we gave it away.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do a disguise montage.
Disguise montage! Yay.
Trying on different hats.
Coming out of the room and then everyone's like,
Not that hat.
I guess since Serana's got like long red hair, then she's just gonna cut it so it's short
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's not going to take you too long.
Butterfly knife.
You quickly change up so that you don't look quite the same. You all are now dressed a little bit differently. Basically dressed now in... there's an unusual amount of paisley now. But it's what's available.
I got those, you know those paisley bell bottoms? I don't know that. Those are the ones.
And
So we're trying not to draw attention to
yeah,
ourselves,
right. Yeah,
right?
one would hope. So you head out?
Yeah, we're gonna head to the casino.
Okay. Once again, you go back down through these canyons and alleys.
Erin is staying right beside her dad, by the way, like as close as she can. I think she's even probably taking any of the pain it might cause to be close to him.
Yeah,
She's
being
grinning and bearing
next
it.
to him doesn't hurt. It's just touching him that hurts.
Okay, cool.
So that's mostly it. You sort of wind around through these different, again, streets and alleyways, lots of rubble, lots of things on fire. It's gradually been looking less and less like a city and more like a like a place where there are these just fiery channels of places. But you still have the
like
casinos.
hell.
A
It's
little
looking
bit,
like
yeah.
hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, like hell.
But you still have the but casinos still are here, and you eventually find the route that leads you toward this building, which has this sort of the frontage of the Golden Nugget, but the sort of this black pyramid on top with the red beam going up into the sky. The Wheel. The Wheel Casino. And inside, because there doesn't seem to be anyone there. This is like the one casino where no one is there. You've been passing by other casinos, and there have been people in there. From what you can tell, they're all losing. No one is winning any chips at this point. The entire chip economy seems to be doing something weird as well. As you go inside, it's pristine almost. There are no people in here. And you feel it is very close to midnight. You're not sure how you know this, but you feel it. And there are no tourists at the tables, no dealers, no corpses, it's empty. You feel again the architecture in here, it still feels like weirdly curved. Just leading endlessly around and around. This nice, neat row of slot machines. And over them you see a slot machine flying as it starts barreling toward you. I'm going to presume you're going to try to get out of the way of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to draw for that. It's pretty easy. There's a big crash,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
and you
Remember how we
see.
said having an innocent soul in hell does some weird things to the surroundings?
You see, there's. You can hear there's something going on over there. You just beyond those, you see this big black pillar kind of in the middle of the room. That you think perhaps is where the elevator is.
Okay. Go, 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 go. Real fast.
Yeah, heading toward it.
So, if you are attempting to sneak past whatever this is, I should like a draw.
From all of us?
Who's leading?
Who feels lucky? If
Not
only-
me.
Lucky punk.
Does anyone have a stealth? No, that was Stan.
That was Stan!
I mean, I guess I could try.
Whoever,
More.
because whoever
You-
wants to, it doesn't
You
matter.
got a skill you're using, or is this just a?
I mean, I've got parkour, so and that's like running as well. So
So you're gonna try. So you're gonna go for fast rather than stealthy.
yeah, I mean, I guess you can use height
Yeah,
as well.
that's-
to
that's
kind of
fine.
hide
Yeah, I
That's-
think that's a good choice.
Okay.
That's, yeah, going fast.
All right.
Go
Give us a-
fast.
Give us a draw.
Gotta go fast.
All right.
Don't
Parkour
bet-
legends, don't
don't
let me
betray
down
us.
now.
No more betrayal.
No more. Yes, Queen of
Good
Swords.
choice.
All right.
Parkour
Good.
legend strikes
You
again.
dodge and weave as you go past. You glance as you go by this thing, and you see this creature. This very big creature. Actually, wait a minute. No, it's this guy you've seen before. It's really big. No, it's Bullneck.
He's dead. What
Yeah,
the
he's
fuck?
dead.
Big
Yeah, he
bitch
doesn't
alive.
look. He doesn't look alive. He's but he's
Oh.
moving.
Of course.
Kind of in an almost corpse-like fashion. But now he's got, he's very burned across most of his body. He has two large horns coming out of his head, and a sort of, he looks a little more animalistic, and he's got this,
Oh no.
this thing that's like a Warhammer-looking thing from a lump of concrete on the end of some rebar.
Oh my god, why you
Oh
just
no.
He's just sort of like, "Rah!"
Fast,
He
fast,
comes
fast,
charging.
fast.
You slip past. And you come to this pillar. It's a black floor-to-ceiling pillar. Same black of the river waters. Light sinks into it. There's a button. Who
It's like
is,
real elevators, just like touching the button over and over and over and over.
Somehow it makes it come faster.
Yes,
Who is holding the eye?
Serana was.
Rana.
It doesn't work until Serana presses the button.
Sure.
But I see
Well,
you
good.
all pressing
wasn't-
it.
She
so-
was first.
Yeah, Serana's first. So, ding, thing opens up. Well, it actually opens up. The door slides open noiselessly. There's this black
Everyone
interior,
get inside.
recessed
I'm
lighting
gonna stand in the doorway.
in the
because
ceiling,
I'm
room for about a dozen people.
Yeah, we're all inside.
You pile in.
No,
Bullneck is
please.
running for you. There's one button marked with an up arrow.
I'm smashing it. I'm just going.
The door slowly comes to close. And
Yeah,
he's like,
but-
as he's right there, and the door closes on his face.
Oh
And
my
you're
god.
left in silence. And that is where we will take our last break. We'll be back in just a few minutes, folks. See you shortly. We have returned, and I thought perhaps I should appropriately attire myself as they are about to meet the devil. Yes, you are in this. This elevator. There is no elevator music. It is very quiet. There is no sound of any kind. You can barely even tell if the elevator's moving or not. But the button indicator seems to think that you're moving.
As I guess the light behind the button kind of flicks, and as it goes up, Serana kind of she looks at the button, and then as she looks over to Erin, her mind kind of just reels back, and as she's like looking into Erin's eyes, her mind kind of just goes back and triggers a flashback.
Now you've had your flashbacks you had your free flashback. Now here's the thing, I gotta mention. Just checking out. This is a flashback you're giving to Erin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Erin's having this. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's you. Well, Erin, she answers. She's at home and she answers her phone, and what she can hear is kind of like a panicked Serana, just kind of saying that she's done something and things can't change and something's gone wrong. Erin seems confused, and but before she can do anything, she hears a honking outside, and it's Serana in her car with a kid asleep in the back seat. While the words seem kind of warbled, because it's like a very distorted memory, what Erin can see is Erin takes over the wheel and drives, and they drop the kid along with a duffel bag over to it seems like a very old couple. They hand over the kid and the money, and they both Serana and Erin both look very uneasy as they hand the kid over, but Serana kind of awkwardly like pats the kid on the head and kind of pushes them forward, and they jump back into the car, and that's when the words kind of become a little bit easier to understand. Erin can kind of pick up that Serana says they've been betrayed, and it's one of them in the group that's betrayed them, and she hands Erin a really kind of like a really small gun, easy concealable, one bullet in the chamber, and it only holds one bullet. They're driving to it seems to be out in the middle of nowhere. They've gone past trees, past roads, past buildings, and they pull up and they see Archie and Stan standing kind of like in the middle of a clearing, far away from civilization. Serana turns to Erin and says, if this is the lot, if something bad happens, I just want you to know that you're the closest thing I've had to like a sister. They get out of the car and kind of chaos ensues. Archie just slams Stan over the head, and Stan drops forward. Before Darcy can even react, he takes out Darcy and then also just backhands Erin with his gun.
He takes out Darcy?
Yeah, there we go. That's real time.
He takes out Serana.
He reaches out of the game and takes
Serana,
out. Yeah,
sorry.
takes out.
Such a brain rot. But he takes out Serana, takes out Erin. When Erin is coming through, the first thing she hears is a gunshot. She turns to the side, and Stan is on the floor, Archie in front of them, killing them one by one. And just before he shoots Serana, she spits in his face and then turns to Erin with a wink as the bullet just flies right through her skull, and she drops forward. Then and Erin, just the memory starts to fade away as Archie pulls the trigger on Erin with that tiny gun in between her bound hands pulls the trigger, and it's kind of like a really nice double murder as they drop
Which is interesting because then there was a second part of Archie's flashback where he was being congratulated, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but we'll figure it out.
Die, or has he just been mortally injured or wounded?
Or perhaps that was just a different section of the afterlife. We're not sure.
We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, so you're going to come out of that and you're back in the elevator.
Are you giving Aaron a skill from that?
I think I did write it down actually what I wanted to give Aaron. Oh no, where's it gone? I wanted to give her like a kind of like a hidden weapon type thing where she's able to kind of hide weapons or conceal weapons. Like that's kind of her skill.
Yeah.
Like concealable.
Yeah.
Concealables, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That works.
And perhaps more importantly, Aaron now knows I killed the rest of you.
I
Oh,
think yeah,
oh,
that too.
Oh.
That's definitely a thing.
Great time to be trapped in a confined space
Oh,
together.
yeah. Still in an elevator. Still elevator going up.
Yeah, it's in the silence. Aaron sort of like has this blur of memory, and it's like it was described. It's like warbly at first. It's all coming back so quickly, and she's remembering everything, and it's like a blur. And she looks at Archie and just narrows her eyes, and she says, "You motherfucker!" And she slams forward like she just dashes forward and slams him against the side of the elevator with her arm. And she yells at him, "You fucking killed us."
Sarada's just gonna turn around like, "Wait, Aaron, what are you doing?"
He fucking killed us. He's the reason we're here.
Oh, no. I don't think I'm the reason that we're all here. But I'll admit I did kill you.
What the fuck? You were supposed to be our friend.
Ding. So,
of course.
As you are reaching the top, I do have a quick question. Who has the gun?
I do.
Archie does.
And who has the bullet?
It's
Archie
in the gun.
does.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the ding happens, it's an interesting thing because it's like the walls of the elevator aren't there anymore and you're now on a platform that clicks into place beneath you as you reach this level. So, where are you? You're at the top of the wheel. It's a well-lit room. It's a squarish, but its walls slant in to form a point at the center, up directly above your heads. And looking up, you can see a red tunnel lifting up into the sky, sort of a tunnel, a beam, that's that beam of light that you were seeing from a distance, you think. But it's hollow. You can actually see inside. It's like a tunnel of light, of red light. And across the room, there is a well-stocked bar and a large table made out of mahogany surrounded by leather chairs. Set into one end of the table is an enormous roulette wheel. At the other end, immaculate in tuxedos, with crystal glasses on gold coasters in front of them, are two people. Again, you can sort of see the lights of Vegas, the entirety of Vegas from here. And you can look down and you can see it is rather labyrinthine now, and lots of fires going off. The two people in tuxedos. One of them, you recognize both of them. One of them is Satan. He is currently wearing the appearance of Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
With horns. And next to him is also in a tuxedo, looking slightly uncomfortable, is your friend Patrick Dennis, the hermit, Hades.
Okay.
This is my boy.
Okay.
That was unexpected.
And as they turn and as they look and they're looking at you, as the two of you are sort of like as Aaron and Archie are kind of tussling, and Sarana's looking at both of them quizzically, and Aaron's dad is just like trying to backed up to what was the corner of the elevator. At this point, Satan slaps the table. And he says, "I told you they'd bring the innocent with them. Come on, pay up." And Hades grimaces and he slides a single chip across the table. And they look at you and Satan raises his drink to you. Well, you gonna stand there killing each other, or are you gonna come over here and play?
So, Aaron looks at Archie and says, "I'm getting my fucking dad out of here. Come on." And she
Now,
shoves Archie back.
as you are looking in, and you can see this man, this visage, this devil, and at the mention of Aaron's dad, who just like is stumbling into this room, looking around, both in your vision, one of you has a realization. You have met the devil before. And made a transaction that quite possibly involved Aaron's father. This is the memory that is coming to you now as a flashback.
Who wants to see?
My question for you is, which one of you is having it?
Alright, what would hurt more? I mean, if no one else is gonna take it, I guess Sarana's gonna have this memory.
Okay. This flashback is going to be a tiny bit different. The way this one works, it's going to be very brief. What did Sarana want that she could not get any other way than by making a deal?
Just freedom, complete immunity from the law, completely free of consequence from her actions.
All right. So we are in the moment here of your flashback, and Satan is standing there in front of you. And he says, "Right, so you want all your records wiped, complete immunity, and nobody ever saw you before."
Yep.
I can do that. It's going to cost you, though. Something, changing that many minds on that many levels costs quite a bit.
I guess jokingly I'll say, "Oh, let me guess, you want my soul?"
Well, for starters, sure. But I mean, you're coming down anyway, so need something a little extra. And he's sort of looking around. And you're in a... say you're sort of like off... You're sort of standing not far from, say, a garage that Aaron's family owns. And you see Aaron's dad walking out. How about that fella?
I'm gonna turn and then actually I was like, "That's Aaron's dad. No, not him. Come on, can't I trade my ex-husband or something?"
Getting him anyway. This is only going to happen if I get something I wasn't going to get otherwise.
I guess I'm gonna look at Aaron's dad and look down and say, "I'm sorry, Aaron," and I'm gonna say, "Deal."
And the flashback ends.
So much betrayal.
So,
Sorry, Aaron.
So much betrayal. So much betrayal.
Oh, that's rough. Oh dear.
all right. So you're kind of there, sort of hanging out, and the devil has invited you over to the table. What are you all doing?
I get when the
Aaron
memory-
has
I'm gonna pause.
Erin has shoved Archie back, and she's looks at her dad and says, "Come on, Dad, let's get you out of here." And she's walking over to the table.
I want to give Serana a flashback. So it's a short one. Serana and Archie are sitting at a table in Aaron's dad's garage. We're obviously waiting for something or someone. And Serana is doing some very basic card tricks in front of Archie. And but she's messing up a few of them. And Archie says, you know, there's better ways to do that. And Serana kind of looks a little like, you know, what do you mean? And he takes the deck of cards and he starts showing her how to deal from the bottom. You know, more practical uses for what she already knows. And as the flashback fades, I think Serana knows how to cheat at cards now.
Oh, you cheeky devil, you!
Hell yeah.
Ooh, spicy.
I love that we have one legit gambler and then one cheater.
Yep.
Nice.
Eat it, parents, eat it.
And Archie just sort of watches Aaron walk to the table and goes and takes a seat like as far away from her as possible.
Yeah, you better. You better sit far away.
I'm gonna sit maybe like opposite from, or maybe like, depending on where they're sitting, an equal space between like me, Archie, and me and Aaron.
Erin probably sits like in the middle.
Yeah.
With her dad beside her.
Yeah. Your dad starts trying to get into a chair. He sort of starts pulling the chair back, and it hisses under his palm. And Satan says, "That's okay, pal. You can just stand right there. That's all right."
Erin looks back at Satan and says, "Can we just get this over with?"
Everybody's in a hurry, but I am kind of too, so I can appreciate that. So let's see. And at this point, the hermit, Hades, looks over. He says, "Does anyone want a drink?"
No.
All right.
Water.
Coming right up.
I'm gonna say, give me a whiskey.
He goes over really fast. Like he did before, you saw him. He moves very quickly with his, he's making a drink. And comes over, presents you with him. And Satan is looking around. He's sort of like, I was expecting I was gonna get one more of you. And at this point, the hermit pipes up. "Oh no, the swords got her. She blew up my casino." "Oh, that was the one. Yeah. She did a very good job of it, though. It was good for the redecorating."
Oh no.
And
Decorating.
yeah. Says, "All right, well, there we are." Okay. So, let me actually just make sure I've got the order here. All right. He says, "All right. The game is blackjack. House rules. One hand. You win, you get out of here. Free pass. House wins, but if the house wins, I own you." Well, You could argue I own you already. But if I win, then you come and work for me. We wipe those awkward moments. You get a promotion. You settle down here. And I can use people who've demonstrated they've got a quick mind and an aptitude for violence. That's the game.
I want to change the stakes. If I win, he goes. Free, she nods to her father. I'll stay and work for you regardless.
Oh, that ain't happening.
He doesn't deserve to be here.
You have any idea how hard I worked to get him down here? No thanks.
You'll get me regardless.
Let me explain to you how the stakes work here, by the way. You got to put up a stake, first of all.
Oh,
And the
actually,
question-
I think I've got a steak for you, and then I'm gonna take out Steve's eye and put it directly in front of me, and say, "You know, I'm getting real tired of the dick swinging."
What's that?
I'm gonna look at Archie and say, "Why don't you do something right for once?"
What is that thing?
It's an eye, isn't it?
Aye, aye. You know what to do, Archie.
Belphegor.
And very slowly under the table, Archie pulls out the pistol and points it in Satan's direction.
Okay.
But he
Satan
doesn't pull the trigger just yet.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you do.
Okay.
Satan at this point is like, okay, yeah, I get it. Interesting that you've got that there, but no. I guess there's been a mistake here. See, the million chips that gets you into the room. That's it. It's proof of worthiness. Anyone who can pull together a million is the kind of person I want to meet, and you have not disappointed. Your actual stake is something rarer. What you need to bring to the table is yourself, all the bits of your past you've gathered since you got here. Now, if you know who you were and why you're here, then that's what you stake. So, I win, I get it. We wipe the slate clean, no difficult memories of being human or uncomfortable past actions. You will become pure essence of your potential. And then you'll work for me. And I don't want any jigsaw puzzles, complete pictures only.
Oh, I think I've got the complete picture, and I'm just gonna look at Archie, and then I'm just like, okay, what's your problem? Do it.
Archie.
I think I'm trying to keep him distracted. What if we all stayed? Regardless.
I mean,
What do you get out of an innocent soul? She's like not breaking eye contact with Satan. She's hoping Archie will take the hit and shoot him. She's
Archie
taking.
kicks his chair back, stands up,
we
and
got a lot of
shoots
redecorating
Satan
to
in
do.
the face.
And so he's saying, well, the two of us, he's sort of gesturing with the hermit. Yeah, the two of us got a lot of redecorating to do.
Blam.
So, blam. Okay. Now. And I believe the time is now. This is going to be a very important card that you're about to draw. I need you to make a shooting Satan in the face draw, please.
Okay.
Very specific skill.
It is a very specific skill. Do you have a skill you want to use toward this by any chance?
Yes, firearms.
There you go.
Oh my God, James.
Okay, let's see if this does it or not.
Oh my God.
What did we get?
What if you shoot Satan
Come on.
back?
God, don't
What if you miss?
miss.
7.
It's not bad. It's average. It's an average shoot Satan in the face.
And you have the firearm skill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm distracting him. Does that help?
You are distracting him. That does help. That does help. Okay. Okay.
Jim, don't make that face. Take that face off your face.
Ah, not like that! Ah!
Move the face.
So, Satan moves very quickly,
Oh,
but it is not quite fast enough. So he darts the moment that gun comes out, but the bullet catches him in the eye. Dark matter explodes from the back of his skull, policking the wallpaper behind him. For a
nice.
second, while the world stands still, you can see straight through the hole in his skull, wide enough to put your fist through.
Archie says, "To hell with you."
That's what Aaron's looking through because he was facing Aaron. Like
Yeah.
she's just looking straight through it.
He collapses to the floor, knocking his cocktail across the table. You see his fist clenching reflexively 3 times and then stays clenched. And he's moaning and muttering something in some language or other, some ancient language. And Hades doesn't look a bit surprised. He raises his glass again, looks
My
down.
boy knew what was up.
Not dead, old man. Well, of course not. Even as weak as you are from your fight with an angel, you can't destroy evil by shooting it in the head. But you will sleep now. When you wake up, this place will be firmly under new management. Thank you, my friends. You've played your parts well.
As I guess this is setting, I'm gonna turn to Erin and say, I just like apologize to her profusely. Erin, I'm so sorry.
She looks at Serana and looks at Archie, and then she looks at Hades. Can I get him out of here?
Oh. Yeah. He was, Satan was never going to let him into the game because, of course, he wanted to use him for his own purposes. But I can do this without him here. He says, pointing to your father. They were never going to let him in. He was never going to let him in anyway. It doesn't have anything like a complete picture, do you? Your dad is just like, I really just want to leave. He nods. Well, does anyone want to say goodbye to him?
I don't think I deserve to say goodbye to him. I'm the reason he's here.
It's gonna be your
looks
last
up.
chance.
I'm just gonna interrupt and I'm like, Erin, no, I'm the reason he's there.
I
What do you
killed
mean?
him.
What?
What do you mean you killed him? I killed him.
Aaron's dad is now looking at Aaron, between Aaron and Serana, confused.
Archie puts his hands up and goes, "Look, this is what I didn't kill. I'm very sure of that."
I poisoned him for life insurance money to feed my gambling addiction.
So Savannah says, I'm the reason he's here. I traded his soul to get us away from Archie.
You might be the reason that he's here in hell, but I'm the reason he's dead in the first place.
I'm gonna go forward like and try and comfort her. And I was like,
She steps back and she looks at her dad. I'm sorry. I told you that I deserved to be here.
So when Serana steps forward, he kind of looks up. Don't touch me, please. You'll only get hurt.
You were a great father, and you deserved better than what you raised. After Mom died, things went to hell.
I didn't want to believe that you're really her. And right now, I wish I still didn't.
Sorry. But I can do one good thing, and I can get you out of here.
He bows his head. I hope I don't remember this.
I hope you don't either.
Hades sort of turns to him, says, "Oh, yes, this is good. This will scramble your noggin good, old man. Take your rest. You deserved it." And he vanishes. He just sort of fades into a cloud of dust. which circles and spirals up through the ray of light in the ceiling, and further up. Very well.
She looks at Hades and says, "We need to get in touch with Balfagar. I look forward to having a job down here in hell now."
Well,
Belfagar was your man, wasn't he?
oh, well, not directly. Well, not directly. I don't think he was aware he was my man. Here's the thing. They were all going to turn against Satan shortly anyway. Satan came to me. And so we kind of set some things up. We arranged to sort of edge them out and turn this into something I'm a little more comfortable with. But I will say, as a thanks, you did come here to play a game. I know. Now the dealer's dead, which is a shame. I am not a dealer, but I have the ability to play a game my way. And for helping me out, I will set this up for you, if you wish. Your chance at getting out. Terms are the same as they were under the old management, but the odds are changed. Play for the sake of play. If you win, you move on. If you lose, you come to work for me, building the new underworld. I'm not going to turn you into a demon, though. What do you say?
I'd rather stay, if it's all the same to you, Hades.
Your choice.
I think I deserve to be here.
No, you don't. I'll play for her.
I don't want to go back. I did something terrible. This is my choice.
It's
You know-
it's my fault you're gambling. I was the criminal. I kept you in that life when I should have kept you away from it. It's my fault.
Serana, I appreciate it, but I deserve to be here, and I'm going to be here under new management. I'd like to help build it.
He nods. Well, we'll be glad to have you. And he turns this around and he says, yeah, probably best not to offer to play for someone else you'll forgive me, but from the sounds of things, that's how you got down here in the first place.
She just laughs. Probably.
So,
But I guess we all deserve to be down here as much as each other.
up to you, but if you want to play, I'm prepared to set it up here.
I'm gonna take a seat and say, well, I didn't, come this far for nothing.
He nods. He turns to Archie. What about you, fella?
You said if we lose, we're still helping work here, but you won't turn us into a demon.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So even if we don't play, we're still just going to be tourists.
I mean, if you want to be a demon, we can arrange it, I suppose, but that's not my
Style.
it's not really my style. No, I mean, I have tricks. You've seen my tricks.
What is your style?
Old school. Probably about one of the oldest there is. Oh, this monotheism, it creates this, I don't know if it's that directly, but it's sort of, along with it comes a lot of direct obsessions over things, and I think it's a lot better getting down to basics.
I guess what I'm asking is this. Tourists here don't have any power. If we work for you, do we get power?
Oh, yeah. He nods. He says, oh, someone's going to have to help run things. Power probably not in the same sense as you would be thinking. It's not like you're going to be shooting lightning bolts out of your eyes or anything like that, but
No.
Still holding
you want to be in charge of some things.
Still holding some negative feelings for Zeus, I see.
I don't think of it as power so much as I think of it as responsibility.
As much as I like being in charge. I never wanted power. I just wanted to get away from everything.
And Archie He puts the gun on the table and he says, "Me? I always wanted the responsibility and the power. I don't deserve to go back, so I'm staying here, working with you."
All right, that's fair. Let's see. Well, here we go. Just one player then. And he turns. He
Aaron
says,
goes up to Serana and pats her on the shoulder and leans over. Good luck.
I'm just gonna like, when her hand's there, just hold it and say, "You really were the best friend I could have asked for. If I win, I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do it better this time."
I know you will. And Aaron backs up.
Archie just mutters under his breath, "Don't burn down any more houses."
well, he picks up Satan's tarot deck. So here's how I'm going to do this, because I don't hold truck with these modern games. You're going to name a card, Serana. Something personal. And then you're going to name one of the 4 suits in here. Then I will deal a card for you and we'll see what we see.
Like, wait, the tarot suits or like a standard suit?
Tarot suits.
They're cup, swords, wands,
Pinnacles.
Pentacles, coins, whatever they're
Coins, yeah.
using these days.
I was just going by what's on the
Oh, yeah,
our deck
yeah.
says.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry.
Oh no, sure, that's fine. I am going to shuffle the deck before we do this, just so you're aware, so that all the cards will be available. So, what's your card?
swords.
All right. So your suit is swords. Do you want to pick one particular card that you identify with? In case that one comes up?
Maybe the queen? The queen? Is that what it's called?
Each suit has a queen.
Means one of the major arcana.
I have no clue.
You want the Empress? There's an Empress. He says he's looking through the deck.
Yeah, go on, give me the Empress.
The Empress it is.
Don't fail me now.
Let me actually make sure as I'm looking at this over. All right. Okay. All right. He is going to pass his hands over the cards.
My heart is like pounding. Oh no.
You ready?
Yep. Let's see how it ends. Oh.
Turn over the card.
Oh. Why isn't it working?
Swords.
You have drawn the 8 of Swords.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Something changes for you. There is a moment where Aaron and Archie, you see Serana seem to coalesce and vanish into a beam of red light that arcs up through the top of the room. He will turn to you and say to you, "All right. Well, the two of you are working for me now. Thank you. I don't have many full-time staff yet. You're most of it. So you're in charge of my workforce, which is the workforce I've just inherited from our former chairman. Head downstairs, give them the tidings that the new king is deposed by the old king, and there's a bunch of rebellious princes who need to be put down before they get ideas. Take luck with you."
All right.
The elevator door the elevator returns, and there's not really an elevator door per se, but you now see a button, the buttons illuminated, and a new button, a second button that points to the basement.
Archie picks up the gun again and walks to the elevator.
Aaron does too.
So you head down to your new careers as rulers of Hades. Serana, you are above the city, above the wheel in a round room made of red light. It has no ceiling, and there is a narrow spiral staircase that leads up and up around the wall clockwise. Below you, the city is burning. You can see down into the room at the top of the wheel where Hades is sat at the table, shuffling the cards. And he does not look up at you. Above you, the red column stretches into the endless jet black sky. The stars watch you implacable. The staircase reaches into what might be infinity, but at its very zenith, the vanishing point where everything comes together, as tiny and faint as a star on the other side of the universe, is light. And that is the end of a Las Vegas.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
So good.
Amazing. Did that,
Now let
guy.
me
Oh
reload
yeah.
this properly and get this all in here. There we go.
Amazing.
Thank you all so much for playing. This is has been a heck of a trip.
Yeah.
I
And
feel like crying like a baby.
you have successfully ended your tour of hell.
Oh,
Wow.
Thank you all very
Wow.
much.
that
This
was
is,
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
So has everyone managed to piece together the entire story now? I think that's like,
It is neat how that works out. Yeah, that sort of finally got the last pieces of the puzzle together. That was very cool. Well, we are at the end, so we're going to go ahead and go around and give our final impressions of this weird series of games, this weird series of sessions, this mini campaign. I know for my part, I have thoughts. A lot of them I'm going to go into offline, I think, some of them, but because there's too much for right now. But I think it was a really good story, and I am pleased to have been able to play with it. But we're going to go ahead and go around in reverse order from the way we started. Feel free to tell us, where folks can find you and all that, and anything you want to plug, and of course any final thoughts you had about Las Vegas. And we will start with James.
Hey, I'm Jimbo, James Silverstein. You can find my work on Amazon, the books Necropolis and Case of the Scarlet Starlet. I'm currently working on book 3, and just this morning I found out that my books are going to be turned into audiobooks, which is awesome.
Congratulations!
Probably out by the end of the year. As for impressions, this was an amazing ride. I loved the fact that as we started dipping more and more into the flashbacks, we started building the story of how we all came together and the horrible things that we did. I had, from about 2 or 3 sessions ago, decided that Archie was the one who had killed everyone. But when the question came about, what did you most desire, I realized that I didn't have a real good reason for Archie having killed everyone, and then it just popped into my mind, what if he was a law enforcement officer, and he did this just for a promotion?
That was good.
So that's why at the last minute, Archie went from hardcore mafioso to undercover FBI agent.
I loved that twist.
It was fun.
Well, thank you so much for playing. That was really cool, and I liked Archie in spite of how horrible he ended up being.
He was terrible.
None of these characters were good.
No, none at all.
I quite liked all of the characters.
Oh, I liked them, but none of them were good.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Archie is a good guy since he's like for the FBI, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Good is relative.
Once you did the whole, have all of your records expunged, I almost wanted to do like a mini reset on the flashback and have it just be like everyone else was wanted criminals. Serrano was just there and he killed her.
Oh my god.
Oh
raw,
god.
edgy,
no witnesses.
But I also feel like once we started down that road, when we were all horrible people, it gave us license to be more horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Once we were just like, oh, we're all terrible. Oh, sure, kill another person, burn down another house.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Also coming to terms with the fact that your character's terrible.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants to play a hero. It's hard to play a villain.
It is.
It's hard just to acknowledge. And I think Archie and Eren staying behind is an incredibly powerful ending.
Yeah.
Completely coming to terms. Whereas Serrano's on a complete 180 and realize everything that has happened is just terrible. And you fight so hard and you make a choice. There's a choice, Eren and Archie, they decided to just embrace their bad side and the things they did and, make atonement. Whereas Serrano's like, no. I need a hard reset.
and Serrano seemed to me as a character, she was all about the escape anyway. So of course she was going to try to escape.
Someone's always running,
Yeah, and ultimately she gambled and
I think I've put together a very comprehensive timeline as well. So
Nice.
I feel like the family that I set fire to, 100% was probably Archie's.
Oh my god.
So she torched Archie's family. She torched Stan's family, and then she's like, yes, down with the men.
All the arson.
I've had enough.
Oh my god. Well, let's speaking of which, though, let's head over to Darcy and for final thoughts and where to find her.
Like I said at the beginning of every act we've had, this is it's bittersweet. It's been an amazing journey, seeing the story grow, see the characters grow and change. The ending as well. I don't think it could have been better. I think it was amazing, honestly. I do feel a little bit sad now because now we have to say goodbye to those characters. We'll probably write a little fanfic about them in memoriam, just for my benefit. But honestly, big thanks to Jim to just doing this game, and amazing for Jimbo and Katie as well, who all took turns hosting, because you all did an amazing job, and I loved it very much. And thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for playing. as for anyone who might be wondering, we did discuss it, and Darcy decided not to be a dealer. So this was totally her decision to do that. But I was happy to try to grab back the reins and do stuff. But that was it was very fun having you, and Toronto was over the top crazy awesome.
We stand.
Absolutely. And playing out that relationship was actually a lot of fun for me.
Yeah,
really cool.
So much fun. I was like, I feel like it has to be a twist. Because there's nothing. I was like, the romance isn't fun anymore. We need to have some betrayal in there.
Yeah.
Just splash some Tabasco.
Oh man. It was going so well, and then it went so badly.
Nothing goes well in hell.
I know, right?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Well, finally, Katie, how you doing?
I am doing great. This was so much fun. I had such a great time. I loved all of the sad bits, the betrayal. I loved all of it. It was just such a fun campaign. I am so glad I played. I'm so glad that we dealt with me having to miss 2 weeks in a row. I hated me having to do it, but I'm so glad that we all agreed that, we all needed to be there for the finale, because I would have hated to miss this. So I'm really glad that we waited and did it all together as a group. I'm Katie. You can find me everywhere on the internet at KatieFace. Through the week, I'm on off the table at on Twitter and Twitch. Tonight, I'm going to be on Off the Table playing Tuesdays with me and Summer. We're playing her unreleased game that's still in playtesting, Picking Up the Pieces. It's a companion piece to her game, Knowing You. I'm really excited to play it because it's not out yet, and we're going to be testing it, and we're going to be playing it with our characters from Liminal, our divorced couple. So it's going to be a lot more heartbreak for me today. It's going to be great. And then on Sundays, you can find me over on Salty Sweet Games for our Witcher RPG. This Sunday is our finale, and we're going to be probably fighting a crone. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm a little scared because I play a bard, and it's not like D&D Magic Bard. I don't have any fighting skills, so this is going to be fun. But yeah, if anything I do, I post on Twitter. So just follow me and see what I'm up to.
Awesome. Thank you so much for playing, Katie. I always love playing games with you, and this was so very cool. Erin was so cool. Erin was so good, and I felt so bad that she was having to have a reason to be in hell.
I had to think of a good one.
Yeah, I know, and you did. Oh, God.
Yeah. Gambling
believe
addiction,
when she
killing
said that.
for life insurance. Yeah.
I know, because she was always talking so lovingly about her dad. Oh, the heart.
man.
Yeah. I thought of that in the moment, and I was like, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Now, what will hurt everyone's feelings more?
So much pain. So many knives. This was quite good. Yeah, the nature of this was interesting. It's been different from the other mini campaigns that I've done because obviously, the time frame for one thing. But some of that also being down to just the way this was put together. That some of these things can't quite cram it all into one session. At least not the way we do it online. So it's we needed to let it breathe, and I'm glad we were able to do that. But this was very cool. And I can see possibly using the game engine for other things also.
Yeah.
It gives me ideas. And I had fun with the round robin aspect to an extent, but I'm not as big a fan of just sort of that style of campaign so much. So there were a few points where it kind of, I felt, locked me into certain things that I had to do because I didn't know what was going to happen otherwise. And I feel like I feel like if I want to do this again, I might do something a little bit different with it, using something else with the system. There are other scenarios out for this system. If you just go to look for the Fugue system, most of them are in Las Vegas, but I think other folks have been have released some independently. So for anyone who wants to check that out, Las Vegas I think is available on Drive-Thru RPG, and you can find stuff there. And just sort of Google around about the Fugue system. It might be there. But in the meantime, we got to get out of here. So I am Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some of my fiction and games that I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. So, something that I just say, folks, we do not have we do not have another mini campaign this month at this point. We were going to do Call of Cthulhu, but unfortunately, due to some real life stuff that came up, we are not going to be able to do that. So we're just going to take a little bit of a break from the monthly mini campaign. The next mini campaign will be starting up next month. And what do I have on the schedule for next month? Let me see. That I think is going to be Casket Land. Which is just basically a Powered by the Apocalypse sort of odd, horrific fantasy western thingy. And so I'm very interested in seeing how that goes. But in the meantime, let's see, what else is happening? I will also just say I did enjoy playing Stan, though, quite a lot. It was a lot of fun. He's actually kind of a version of another character that I played years ago in a vampire campaign, strangely enough, in some ways, but it's not the same guy. Very sort of a far cry from the same guy. But it was interesting. I was planning for him to be very chill, and he was not that. But it was very interesting. But anyway, what is happening on this channel? We might be bringing back masks tomorrow night. Hopefully, we will see. We're going to take a stab at it. So Mole Mothulu is going to be coming back, and we're going to see if we can go ahead and resume our masks campaign. On Thursday night, we have The Sprawl, a short campaign run by guest MC Brian. It's Cyberpunk Powered by the Apocalypse. And let's see, on Saturday nights, I run Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox. On Sundays, we have one-shots in the afternoons. The one-shot this coming Sunday is for a game called Become, written by Anarisis, who has appeared in an interview on this channel before, and has also done some other stuff, a lot of cool stuff on his channel. So sign-ups are closing for that tonight. I'm going to try to get it cast tonight if I can. But on Sunday night, we will have the continuation of our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw, Ghosts of Salt March in Space, run by Alyssa. On Monday nights, I am over on Salty Sweet Games playing Strange Invasion: Assault on the Barrier Peaks. It's D&D 5e, and I'm playing an Angry Dirt Wizard, and it is glorious. Well, folks, that's about it. Sign-ups will be opening soon for more stuff. Be on the lookout. Just sort of figuring out where everything's positioned, because I've got an online con possibly toward the end of this month. They haven't contacted me back yet, so we're seeing. But more things are going to come up. I just got to figure out where I want to put everything. And I liked doing a thing on Tuesday afternoons. There might be more something like that soon. We'll see. But in the meantime, when we hit the end card, I am going to send a raid over to Kyle with an N. Kylan is playing a game, and she often does very, very cool characters in RPGs, and so we're going to go over and say hi to her. Feel free to come along if you so desire and say hi to her with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. And in the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.